Man, do I love this video so much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to all the goglings, gogorifics, and gog peoples. Welcome to a Tuesday stream, and welcome to episode 320 of Pen and Pixels. It is Talisman Adventures. I am your host, Arvin Elleron. This is the show that we do here every Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern, focusing on story and narrative, and what better way to do that than to focus on story and narrative with a wonderful group of people as we continue with Talisman Adventures. First of all, thanks as always to our sponsors for this, Pegasus Spiele, who are the makers of Talisman Adventures, the tabletop role-playing game. And thank you as well to all of the lovely folks who are here watching us in stream. And before we go any further, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already done so, please follow us here on GogCom. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to check out as well and subscribe to us here on GogCom. That is always appreciated and supports all of the streamers and gets you those, allows you to get those custom sub badges and DRM-free emotes and all that kind of good stuff. And if you have not done so already, please click through to our individual channels, because we all have our own individual Patreons and stream systems and subsystems and all that kind of good stuff as well. But with that said, we are here and ready for some Talisman Adventures. I will say this is the last stream of March for me, and starting next week and next month, I'll be back here with Pen and Pixels, and I'm going to be playing, for the video game portion of my show, I'm going to be playing some Dragon's Dogma. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a try. I've heard many good things about Dragon's Dogma, so I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. Of course, it is the GOG version, naturally, of course, naturellement. But I'm looking forward to doing that, and then we will have our usual Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and of course, more of this game, Talisman Adventures, next month as well. So it's going to be a good time. I am looking forward to it, and I hope you folks are looking forward to it as well. But now I am going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly for anyone that I have interrupted without knowing it, because I couldn't hear them. And now I'm going to unmute them so that I can hear them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal the incredible crew. You can see them. They are here and prepared and ready for more of the Briar Rose. Welcome to the amazing crew. I am super excited to have them here, and I will start, as always, by asking our wonderful stream team leader, Pyron Jade, who is, right now is going down the yellow brick road, looking for some Philadelphia freedom, and someone saved her life tonight, I think, and that is very appropriate when you're trying to avoid being a rocket man. And with all that said, I will say hi. How are you, Pyron? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing today in this? Think of another song by that person. Anyway, who are you playing today?
I'm fine, Mr. Pinball Wizard.
That's it. Damn it! I knew there's another one.
Yeah, and I actually love that song. I'm doing fine. I've got a little bit of a sore throat, so if you hear me coughing and my voice is not all that tonight, that's the reason. And I'm playing Regina Augusta III, a sprite warrior, who is currently being told by another warrior that size does matter, and she's not sure about how she feels about that. They lost a human, but they have a donkey, so it's all unbalanced kind of in her life. So let's see where that goes. I'm very much looking forward to the session.
Should be a good time. I'm very excited for it. Good to see Pyron as always. Also, of course, always good to see Darksaber 2K, who has returned once again. And again, I thank Saber as always for handling Dashboard and Moobot on these days. Welcome, Saber. It's good to see you. I see that we have gone from the Artificer world. Now we are going into another world, and it's a world of gravekeepers and ghouls. And that's I think we're all set for this. In this environment where we're actually going to be cooperating with each other and not trying to obliterate each other in a board game. How are you doing, Saber? How's life in the universe, and who are you playing today?
I'm really good, thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Coming up for air from a lot of Fallout New Vegas and Cyberpunk at the moment, because I've got a few days off. So been streaming a lot of Fallout New Vegas, and for my own enjoyment, been playing a lot of Cyberpunk. And I'm having a lot of good things. I don't want to say too much about Cyberpunk, because check it out. It had a rough start. That's been the past now. It's a good game. Let's just move on from there. Definitely worth it. A lot of fun. But yeah, funny as well, because my two characters really couldn't be more opposite, because we've got Morthal over in Ghost of Saltmarsh, who is artificer, machinery, performing miracles with cogs, gears, and crystals. And then here we got Reginald Shoon, who is a druid and a gravekeeper and a ghoul of the nature.
Yes, so very
So,
different.
yeah.
I feel like you should have, instead of the gear background, don't you need like gravestones or like basically the poster from any metal band from the last 25 years, like something like that, you know?
I had my own one. I might try that. I'll see what we can get.
We're gonna fire something. It's gonna be
Gotta
like
go. I've got to have something on my PC.
Skull of Doom. But it's always a pleasure to have Saber with us. Thank you, sir. Also, always a pleasure to have Mike with us. I went down to Peripheral Mike's window and I saw that, of course, in there I have your character name. So I just came down to Mike. It's like Lump. Just like, yes, that is the new name. I'm glad to know. But it is, of course, Peripheral Mike. And by the way, check out the casual flex of the plants and pictures in Mike's background. Like, check out I know we saw some of that with Saltmarsh last week, but like, it just feels like now you're just kind of like, oh, what, this old thing? Well, look at this background. Like, look at that slickness. That's good stuff. I love it. It looks great, Mike. How are you doing? How's life in the universe with you, and who are you playing?
I'm really well, thank you. I hope everyone in chat's doing well. I hope all our players are doing well. And yeah, I'm doing really good. Work is busy at the moment, so I've done very little streaming, unfortunately. But I thank everyone. I'm seeing the good vibes emotes in the chat. I'm very, very pleased with that. Thank you very much. I am going to be streaming at some point. It is going to happen, but I'm just too busy with work right now. And what little time I'm not doing work, I'm playing Elden Ring. And as anybody who has ever watched any of my streams knows, I don't stream from software games, because when I stream them, I'm not concentrating on them and they just drive me to distraction and absolute chaos. So those are things I just enjoy in my own time. But streams will continue reasonably shortly. There are things in the background moving, so bear with me. But tonight I am playing Lump, the troll warrior. What background was I? The troll warrior world walker, who has been traveling from place to place, doing reasonably odd jobs for various people, and now has gotten himself involved in moving a body. It is what Lump has sort of taken it as. It's like, I'm going to move this body, and now that body is gone. So payday.
Exactly. So we did what we needed to, I guess.
It's
a win.
Congratulations, adventure's over.
Yes, that is an interesting interpretation that is not borne out by reality, but I appreciate the aspirational qualities of Lump in this regard. But it's going to be fun to see how all the party members handle things today. Good to see, as always, Mike. And also good to see for the second session today of their tenure with us, Undeveloped Bruce. It's good to see you, Bruce. First of all, compliments. Hair is on point, looking good. And beyond that, how's life with you and the universe, and who are you playing today?
Hello. So I am doing really great. Thanks. Hey, everyone. I've just moved to the valleys in South Wales, so none of you can ever question my dedication to playing Chwedl Wed's Cragman. I've moved to the valleys just to perfect my valleys accent.
Yep.
Literally no other reason. Absolutely, it wasn't planned at all before. Now I just put them together. Went, no, I've got to move.
It's method acting, right?
Bridgend.
It's method acting.
Yeah.
You need, yeah. So
yeah, and being totally involved in the folk scene here to steal all the songs and to read Talisman lore. Like, yes, the sprites, they come from here. Marb, Oberon, Titania, all good. Writing them songs. So I'm playing Chwedl, and he is a dwarf minstrel with a strong accent, and he's just playing in a pub as he usually does. Packed crowds, like, people going absolutely wild. And then as old May Lumps turns up, he's all like, all right, I'm up for an adventure with Lump anytime. So we're going from there, really.
Yes, and from there we went to a cart with a body in it, and we will talk about that in just a minute. But it is good to see Bruce, and good to see the entire crew with us for Talisman Adventures. And with no further ado, I'm going to fire up some music, and let's talk about what happened in our last session. I think we were dealing with this one, not that one. Okay, we should have... Wait a second, give me the... Nope, why don't I have music? Hold on a second, why is my music not... Okay, so I got some music. All right, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's try now to see if I can actually get that to be this one. There's that. Okay, sorry. All of a sudden, my music is giving me grief. Let's go with this one so that it doesn't give me grief anymore. Yes, he said. Okay, can people hear that? Can you folks hear? Okay, cool. All right, sorry about that. In our last session, the 4 fine adventurers that you see before you, having met each other, 2 of them, Regina and Reginald, having been sent to the south to this town to be able to gather information and specifically find out more about someone who might be in trouble. They were sent to the town of Greymist, which is a wonderful place. It's not. It's a terrible place, actually, that used to be nice at one time, but is now better known for thieving and for criminality than it is for actually anything else. Its main export probably is crime. Greymist is kind of a mess, and when the party got down there, on the way down, they ended up meeting a certain large troll figure known as Lump, and eventually ended up meeting, as has previously been described, a dwarf minstrel known as Huedel. And the 4 of them together have been tasked really by the innkeeper, although I suppose also because they wanted this to be the right thing to do, to deal with a little bit of a problem. The problem is a character named Morris, who has been sleeping, and I mean actually sort of literally sleeping, on a feather bed inside the inn in the of the Wilting Lily, this inn inside Greymist, for a while. And as it turns out, according to the innkeeper, that the problem was that he's not dead, Morris isn't. Nothing will wake him up. And it's very obvious that there has been a curse laid upon them because there is a rose that he has, a briar rose that he is holding on his chest. In fact, I wonder if I still have the picture of that somewhere. Do I have everything? For some reason, I don't have that, and I don't know why I don't have that one. Anyway, I'll try to get that later on. He's got this briar rose, which has gradually started to lose its petals. And so the concern here is that, first of all, he's using up a perfectly good room and bed. Secondly, not good for business if it turns out that someone who's clearly been cursed has gotten information, as that information gets out, that's not good for business, even in a town like Greymist. And beyond that, the money that Morris, his father, had paid the innkeeper to allow him to stay at the inn ran out a few weeks ago. And so basically the innkeeper has said that he will pay you, forget your bill, that he will give him kind of a reward, and that if you can just figure out a way to solve this problem, specifically by going to find a sage in Fishburg who knows a lot about magical plants that might be able to wake Morris up, then that would be solving a problem. It would also be doing the right thing, and it would be getting him off of the innkeeper's hands. And the party, in the process of moving the body and sort of making these determinations, discovered, I believe it was Huedel that discovered this, if I'm not mistaken, that there was a note that had been left called, that said, "My dearest Morris, I miss you so much, my love. My studies are going very, very well. I hope to return to you very soon. I know how much you love flowers, so I grew this one special for you. I dearly hope you like it. I hope you're safe and sound. Take heart, my dearest. It won't be long until we are in each other's arms and can at long last be married. All my love, Zara, XOXO. The problem is that Huedel also ended up finding another note, which was clearly written in someone else's hand. And the suggestion basically here is that someone has essentially faked this whole business and that someone has cursed them and tried to put the blame on whoever this Zara character is, who apparently Morris might be in love with. And so the party has got someone that knows about this, doesn't understand, the party doesn't know why or who in particular, but someone is trying to set this up, and has decided that they need to get Morris out of town, which they have done by carefully rolling him up and with great stealth and agility. That's not exactly how it went down. Brought him down to the wagon, put him in this wagon, and using a donkey, which Regina in particular was a big fan of, brought the donkey and the cart and the body out of Greymist. And everything seemed like it was going to go okay until the party ran across a group of people, I believe this was in the evening, at a campfire. And so they went to check what was happening with this group of people at the campfire. When they got to the campfire, they discovered that, in fact, nobody there was left. There was no one left at the campfire, but they did hear the very distinctive braying of a donkey and the sound of a cart moving off at their previous camp. So there is someone who has taken the donkey, taken the cart, and taken Morris's body. And so as I hand things back over to the party has now got to decide what they want to do, which is the hell with Morris, let's just stay at this campfire forever, or go back and get donkey, cart, and Morris to go with it. So party, what would you like to do?
My donkey!
That was a hard one, donkey. We need to get him back.
Yes! I'm with the dwarf.
Human gone.
Even if we can't save the human, we might still be able to save the donkey.
Human gone, though. Still get paid.
Probably not.
Can we just go to where the donkey is? I'll head off in donkey direction.
Head off in the donkey direction. Okay.
So the area where the camp is pretty much just completely empty, like an illusion.
Other than, well, anymore. Not completely empty. I mean, there are tents and there is there is a extinguished campfire, but there are no people there. In fact, it's kind of been, I think I may have said that it was sort of built up as if they were supposed to look like bodies that was there at the campfire, but they're not. But in any case, there's no one really there that, is moving at all anymore, and the campfire is extinguished, and the cart and the donkey moving and all that stuff.
Okay. Oh, Reginald's going to go and follow Regina.
Okay. What about Lump and Weddle?
Yeah, Lump's going to do the same.
Weddle is sticking very close to Lump. Like, very, very close.
Okay.
Definitely in personal space.
All right. So
Lump just looks down. You want ride?
Oh, go on then.
Just pick Weddle up and put him on my shoulder.
This is just like the old days, isn't it? You used to carry me around all over the place.
Oh, good times.
So we have Regina flying ahead, Reginald following after, and then a large troll known as Lump holding onto, with riding on the shoulder, Weddle the dwarf minstrel. And as the party heads up, you can hear the sound of the donkey braying and the cart getting closer and closer. Now, I should say that one benefit to this whole situation for you is that donkeys and carts are not known for moving particularly swiftly. And so in not too long of a time, you're actually able to catch up and see what is before you. Now, I should ask, are you trying to be, when you get closer, are you going to try to be very secretive about how you approach, or are you kind of like, like running, screaming, and yelling and demanding that they leave and all that stuff?
I love the idea that you think a troll with a dwarven minstrel on their shoulders is going to be stealthy in any way, shape, or form.
Very quiet.
Have you seen Mad Max?
Yes.
It's the sort of the bard from Mad Max.
Okay.
Is what I'm imagining.
Are you talking about the dude with the goggles?
Yeah, basically, yeah, the dude with the flaming guitar.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, sorry. Yes, that's okay, right. So, okay,
Weddle and the flaming hood.
That level of stealth, I think,
right.
is what Lump is going for.
I love the image of so these two people that are at the front, and you can actually see that there are two on the cart that are actually, kind of like with the reins in their hands, and two all cloaked figures striding along next side. And as they hear the sound, they turn around, and the image of a ghoul, a sprite, and then a troll with a screaming dwarf on the top charging towards them is a sight to behold. So they kind of see this, and they're kind of like, and the two draw their swords and are prepared for your attack. And I think It is times like these that we like to have what we call a combat situation. So I'm going to get rid of this music for a moment. Thank you, Forest Music. Instead, we're going to fire up some combat music. Let's go with a classic. Okay. All right. So, what I would love to have from the party is as follows. As we kind of pull this up together, and there are 4 of these bandits, 2 on the cart and 2 next to you.
I need my notebook.
Okay. Incidentally, I should say that bandits, you were all aware, tend to be very good at ambushes. It's nice that you've had a chance to sort of turn the tables a bit here, in that you are definitely not the ones being ambushed here. So you're getting tavern music alongside, really?
Yeah, it's it's just me, I think, because otherwise someone else would have been. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll manage. Just saying.
Okay. Okay.
I have no music.
If I seem a bit distracted, it's because my brain's trying to focus on 2 different music tracks at the same time.
Well, let me try reloading. Maybe it's on my end because it was doing something weird with my music. So give me just a second. I'm gonna reload it.
Just refreshing again.
You just hear the fight suspense music. Yeah, that's all that's coming through on my end. But
I think a refresh has just fixed it. I was trying that earlier, but Roll20's been a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope, there it is.
Okay. Well, now I don't know what to tell you because I like that. Because that now I have whatever that thing was. That was
all
going
in
on
my
before.
head.
Yeah, there is no music at all.
Okay. All right. And as a quick reminder, I have Lump. I have you at 24 out of 24 life with 1 out of 5 light fate.
Yes, you do.
As we speak. Gina, I have you at 24 out of 24 life with 2 out of 6 light fate.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have Reginald with 17 out of 17 life with 2 out of 6 light fate.
Mm-hmm.
And Weddle, I have you at 23 out of 23 life with 2 out of 6 light fate. Is that
Yes.
accurate? Okay.
And 3 out of 5 spell points.
Oh, yes, that is helpful. Yes.
I'm on a 6 out of 6, I think. Let me just 6 out of 6 for me.
All right, and I'm going to pull forth 4,
I'm on
count them,
0
chat,
for those keeping
4
count.
Dark Fate. 1 for each of the
Swear
players.
cheese.
Not that I expect to use any of that. I'm sure none of that would ever
Dark
come
Fate
to use.
Boo, Dark Fate Boo.
I'm sure that would be fun. No one wants
This
to hear
is the
Dark
board
Fate.
game.
Okay.
Well, yeah, true. So we're looking at 4 bandits, correct?
You are looking at 4 bandits. That's right. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that this is. Let me see if I can actually ambush that stuff. Okay, because this is not all right. Never mind. Because you're literally not being surprised insofar as you're running down a hill yelling at them. So all right, they may be surprised, but are not actually combat-wise surprised. So, all right. So the way this works is combat in Talisman Adventures is simultaneous, as opposed to in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. So what that means is that the players will get to decide who acts first and in what order. So the first thing is just based on position. So as I've explained, there are 2 people on this cart. There are 2 people next to them, also with cloaks, also with swords, that are turned to face you as the 4 of you are charging down this slight rise of the hill. So that's your position relative to them. You are not right up on top of them, but you will be by the end of this round, depending on what you choose to do. So with that knowledge, what would the party like to do in terms of who goes first, second, third, and fourth? You can decide that amongst yourselves.
I'd like to go first, if that's all right.
I think I would like to take last, so I've got a chance to look at what happens before I pick my action.
Okay.
It's probably going to be myself that goes second if Weddle's going first, because I assume I'm not going to be able to stop very gracefully as I'm charging towards him down there.
Right, so we're going to put
Then
Lump second.
then I'll go third.
And that means that Regina would go third. Okay. Oops. Right. Okay, there's you. And we put Reginald there. Okay. Huedel, you are going to be up first. What is your plan? So there's multiple things. I think this is the first combat we've run with you, I believe, in Talisman Adventures. So, I'm happy to sort of explain for you if you need that help. Basically, you've got assist, which is where you're assisting someone else, a melee or a psychic attack, a ranged attack, casting a spell, always popular for a minstrel. You could defend yourself. You could disengage, which doesn't make much sense in this context because you're engaging them. You could protect characters from an incoming attack, or you could try to recover to restore lost life, which doesn't make any sense because you haven't lost any life. So, given those things, what would you like to do?
I like to cast a spell, please.
Okay.
And it says it's a free action as opposed to a full action. Does that mean it's like a bonus action?
Yes, basically. You can cast free actions basically are allowed because you take an action until everybody has taken an action. So when you do that, free actions can be done on multiple levels, although if they're time-based, sometimes it takes a little longer. But usually, yes, you can take more than one free action.
Awesome. I'd like to cast Cloak of Shadows on Lump, please. Because I want to look like I'm riding a big old shadow and I'm like floating on shadow. And then it'll look really cool.
Excellent.
It's like
purely for the aesthetics.
It's like Fezzik in Princess Bride with a Holocaust cloak. Like it's just like I've come for your souls. Okay. Okay, so you can summon darkness, etc., etc. All right. To do that, that means that you've got a difficulty there of 11. So you're going to have to equal or exceed that on your spellcasting test. So you're going to be making a spellcasting test and you're trying for an 11 or better to be able to succeed in this. And it's going to cost you 1 spell point to do that.
All right. A spellcasting test, you say?
Yes. So that's, again, you're rolling 3d6. And you're going to be let's look at, again, I always like to use Pyron's handy dandy chart. So the question is, as you're doing spell casting, do you have the skill? That's the first question. And if you're nodding, I can't see you. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you do, basically. Do you have a focus in the skill that fits the situation? So, I think for spell casting, that would be like, let me see. For spell casting, yeah, you could have like a focus in it. Give me a second while I get.
I think it's like arcane, mystic, and nature, isn't it? Where they're the focuses.
Yeah. So
schools of magic.
Correct.
Right.
I remember
spell casting would be focus would be arcane, mystic, or nature.
The spellcasting is a special ability as opposed to a skill, is it not?
So each spell falls into one of the 3 categories. So hang on. What do you say? It was Cloak of Shadows, the spell?
You should.
I have a special ability called Nature Spellcasting.
Okay. So tell me about that. So tell me about the special ability, because it's not always that way. So, or unless you don't know, I'm asking you to do something I should ask. Because it's a basic nature spell. So the question is whether you have a focus in nature. Would be the question in this case.
I'll go with no.
Okay, so if you don't,
you should have spellcasting as a skill, as a minstrel.
Yeah, no, the skill definitely. I'm thinking about the focus was the one I wasn't sure about. Why is this not?
No, I don't have a focus, so no extra d6.
Okay, so and that means it would be without a focus. That means you would just roll 3d6, but you would also be using your aspect, which would be, I believe, wits. Nope, resolve is actually what it would be. Determine the aspect used in spellcasting. So if you do not have it, then you would have resolve. So it would be 3d6 plus your resolve is what you roll. And we're looking for an 11 or better.
I got a 12.
That's what I like to see.
Nice.
Okay. So you've got the 12, so that means that it does cast. What does this look like, by the way? It says night is fallen in your immediate vicinity, but like, how do you want to describe your awesome shadow cloaked troll?
Oh yeah, it looks like it almost like fell down off my shoulders, rolled off me without affecting me, and just like over Lump. And maybe Lump, does Lump have like a big stick?
Nope, Lump has bare fists.
Bare fists.
Yep.
Okay. I just want like Lump's bare fists to be slightly sticking out of the darkness.
So it's like
Yeah, you
a
just see
shadows
two-
with
two
fists is what you're
fists.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. And considering Lump's proportions, his arms are massive. So he actually runs, when he's running at full speed, he uses his hands as well. Basically, there's just a giant galloping shadow.
I love it. So this is, I should say, by the way, that this is a standard success. It is not a great success. It's a standard success. So what that means is it is going to take effect and all those things will occur. However, there is a complication, which is that when you do this, you basically cover yourself. And I want to make sure I'm clear about whether how far Cloak of Darkness goes. Cloak of Shadows goes, making you another character or another ally. So what this means is you can't cover both of you. So the complication I'm going to say is that you are now riding on top of a shadow with fists, which is incredibly epic and impressive. However, it means that you are now visible to them. So as the bandits are just like, and basically are staring and like pointing up at you, and the one of them, they all sort of like prepare for your arrival as you're sort of charging down at them. Okay, so that was a free action. You have another action that you could additionally take. Normally spells would be a full action, but this is a free action here. So you could take one other full action each round. So you could take a full action in addition to that spell you just cast.
Could you remind me again what some of these full actions?
Sure. So you can assist
involve?
other people. You could attack them in melee. You could attack, if you have the ability to do this, psychically, if you have that special ability. You could do a ranged attack. You could theoretically cast another spell if it's not, as long as it's, but actually not unless it's anything. You could theoretically cast another spell. You could defend yourself. You could protect someone else, or you could attempt to disengage, which doesn't make any sense because you haven't even engaged yet, or recover, which doesn't make any sense because you haven't lost life. So really, attack, cast another spell, protect, or assist another character when they're in combat.
I'd like to assist Lump, please.
Okay, perfect. So that means that when Lump goes, and in fact Lump is going next, you will be assisting him. How exactly are you assisting him, by the way? I'm not just asking you for flavor. I'm coming up with a reason.
I'm assisting him by flailing my rapier in front of him like this because I don't know what he's gonna do. So just like
He's sort of pointing like that one.
yeah, I'm like a knight on the back of a horse, like with a lance, but it's a rapier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like,
I love it. I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do then is we're going to say, let's see, because you're using combat skills, make combat, of using the same weapon target as my firearms. Okay, right. And since you're both doing melee, that means that you'll be able to do that. So that's good. So the way this works is I'm going to have you roll, and give me just a second so I can make sure I know what I want to have you roll. What is your, let us say, agility, Weddle?
agility 4.
I would like you to roll 1d6, please. If you roll equal to or lower than that number, then that number will be added to Lump's roll when Lump moves in with his fists.
Nice.
2. So Lump will get +2. Good stuff, Weddle.
Nice.
Okay, and I'm not going to ask you about movement or anything because you're moving on the bottom on a shadow troll right now. Speaking of the shadow troll, these people, yeah, exactly. They look terrified. So you are going to be able to arrive upon the scene and attack them with the power of melee, which is, I assume, what you're going to do.
Oh yes.
So you're going to be attacking with melee. You're going to be making a skill check, and while you're doing that, you're going to be adding +2 in addition to all of the other previously mentioned stuff.
Yep. Awesome. So Lump is going to sort of trundle forwards. There's a moment where he stops running on his hands, and there's a skid, and a moment where he sort of makes he's still sort of hunched down a bit so Weddle doesn't fall off, but he makes sort of a bald fist, and sort of the momentum swings him forward.
Oh,
so he's
man.
swinging with both of his arms.
So in American terms, it's swinging for the fences, and in every
Basically,
else from the
yes.
world's turn, it's trying to get a try, right? Or not a try.
It's a proper...
Trying to get some wickets, I think, right? Is that the
Yeah.
with the bat?
I don't
assume?
know, cricket.
I was assuming it was a cricket thing. Anyway,
I don't know.
okay. So we're gonna go through that same exact flowchart here. So do you have this skill?
Possibly. Yes.
All right. Do you have a focus in the skill?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I have focus in barehanded.
So 3d6 plus your aspect, which would be brawn here, +2 because of the assist from Weddle.
3d6 plus my aspect +2 +2. Rolling.
And thanks for the raid.
19.
It is Incredible Hulk style. And you also it is actually I read 22. I think I see. Am I? It says
Oh yeah,
3d6
no,
plus
sorry,
11.
sorry. There we go. I'm on the wrong part of the chat window. 22.
Okay, so 22 and also doubles there. So that is a
Ding.
great success, which means you inflict full damage on your target, and your opponent does not get an action because
Excellent.
they clearly don't.
So let's talk damage.
Yes. So now we're going to inflict damage. Now, your base damage for your hands is 1, but I'm sure that as a troll, that is not the case for you, and that you have higher base
Indeed.
damage.
Indeed. So the damage for the fists is 1d6, I believe.
Okay.
1d6, I believe so. Bear with me. Yes, I believe it's 1d6 because it counts as 2 weapon fighting.
Okay.
So for damage, I'm going to roll... I will double check this actually. But for damage for this one anyway, I'm going to roll 1d6.
Okay.
And because I got a great success and I'm doing 2 weapon fighting, I can add my brawn or agility to my main weapon's damage. So let me just read you the 2 weapon fighting blurb.
Okay.
You can wield a weapon in each hand so long as that weapon's damage is 1d3 or 1d6. You cannot make multiple attack rolls with your offhand weapon. Instead, your offhand weapon adds 2 to your main weapon's damage when you get a standard success.
Okay.
If you roll a great success or better while attacking with 2 weapons, hold up fists,
Mm-hmm.
you add your brawn or agility to your main weapon's damage instead.
I love it.
You also get a +1 to any melee defense tests. So because I got a great success, I'm going to add my brawn to my attack roll. So 1d6 plus my brawn. 1d6 plus my brawn, which is a total of 10 points of damage.
Okay. So 10 points of damage. Now these, this one you can see as they're turned to face you with some sense of horror. They have got armor, but it's a funny thing about armor. Your armor through this is not likely to be... Wait a second. Why is my phone ringing? Never mind my phone. Leave me alone. Don't call me. So
I'm incredibly sorry to interrupt. I'm going to have to step away for a second because my phone is ringing. And I need to take this phone call.
No, that's fine.
Please continue.
That's fine.
Please continue. I have rolled my roll. So
That's fine.
I'll be back momentarily.
That is fine. Okay, so we've got 10. We deduct the damage for their armor, but you can see that this sort of... it's not a fastball special, but you know what I mean. Like this thing has done a lot of damage to this particular bandit. You hear a terrible, on the back, as you're waving your sword around wildly, your rapier wildly, Weddle, you hear this terrible, like, crunching sound as of something hitting something hard and breaking it because it's stronger. And you can see the bandit's like, like clutching at his ribs and looks like very, very hurt indeed. Let's see. And doesn't even get to fight back at all of you because, as I mentioned, has been hit and was a great success. So, all right, I'm going to just mark that down. Okay. Right. So that is going to be Lump's turn, who is now fully engaged with this bandit. All right, that's going to bring us down next to Regina, I beg your pardon, who comes steaming down the hill. And now, are you going after the one that was just, crunched by Lump, or are you going after one of the other ones, Regina?
The one that was crunched by Lumps does not have the donkey, right?
Well, I mean, I guess they technically all have the donkey, but they're not the one with the reins, no.
Well, then I'm going after the one who has the donkey.
Okay. So one of the ones sitting on the cart. So they are looking in over their shoulder, sort of in some disturbing and some sense of bemusement as this sprite comes flying at them, crying bloody murder. Okay. So you are going to be able to attack them. I assume that's what you're doing, is a melee attack?
No. I thought for my little there were the two bandits, one of who was just crunched by Lump.
Right, both
and
next
then
to the
there's
cart.
Okay, I'm gonna do a ranged attack towards the one who runs the range with one of my javelins.
Got you.
Flying
Right.
Is my plan. We will see how it goes.
All right.
I'm gonna use Light Fate to have an extra die.
Okay, that sounds like that sounds promising. I have to decide if I'm going to use something myself. Let's see. Okay, no, I'm not going to do anything yet. Okay, so you were going to use that. And again, you already made the charts. You already know this. So you have the skill, you have the focus. So 3d6 plus your aspect plus 2 against this monstrosity.
46 because I used the extra dice.
Oh, right, that's right. Sorry, 46.
Yeah, 46 plus stuff. I should have put that in because I knew what I was going to do.
Yeah.
That's election for the next time. There we go.
All right. So 19 is definitely going to be a success. Nothing extra on the Kismet die.
I'm taking the 1 out, so it's 18.
Oh, right. Okay, that's right. Still, though. 18. So that is a success. That's the good news. It is a standard success. So you are going to strike your target for full damage. What I'm going to say for this, because I get to choose, is that when you take up the thing, you're so angry, Regina, that when you throw your javelin, you accidentally throw a second javelin. Now, one of the javelins goes flying into the ground, and the other one hits unerringly, but you're kind of like, I thought there were like 2 of them in my head. I don't know. It felt a little weird. But anyway, so one of them is standing in the ground, just sort of, the other one is in the back of the person. But they will not attack you back. You will strike your target for full damage. So go ahead and roll, please, your damage for this javelin.
Yes. 1d6 plus 4. Sorry, I had to look it up because I forgot.
Oh, it's fine.
6.
Okay. So 6 points of damage, and then, like kind of staggers forward. The reins kind of like jostle forward. The donkey sort of half brays, and the bandit sort of goes forward and then starts cursing, and drags the reins to a halt. They will not be able to attack yet because they've gotten this extra action. So that means we've got 2 bandits that have yet to take any actions. Okay, but otherwise you're good to go. You've got that. And that's going to lead us last, and certainly not least, to Reginald. Your party is doing what it does.
Yes, indeed. And it's a good thing that the cart has stopped, because I was considering using Shatter on the cartwheel.
Ooh, interesting. No, it's been
But
stopped.
yes.
Being hit in the back by a javelin has a tendency to do that.
It does. And speaking of someone with an angry sprite's javelin sticking out of his back, I'm also going to target that fellow.
Okay.
Point my hand at him, and there's a hum of electricity in the air as a very small peal of thunder rolls across the battle area as I summon forth a lightning bolt to strike him.
Ooh, okay. So
And I'm going to use Light Fate on this one.
Okay. People using their light fate. I love to see it. Things you like to see. Okay. So, lightning bolt, which is basic arcane or nature. So, the question is, you obviously have the skill of spellcasting. Do you have a focus in arcane? I guess it would be, or nature. No, I guess nature. It would be nature,
yes,
rather.
Definitely nature.
So 3d6 plus aspect plus 2 against this bandit.
And then with the Light Fate, so that's 46 plus 7 total.
Exactly, Renell. Ever been so mad you shot all your arrows in one pull? That's exactly right. Look at that.
I guess I'll drop the 4.
Right, because the Kismet die. Yeah.
Would have been nice if that was a 6, because he would have got a stun as well.
Exactly. Still, though, 21, and that is a great success. So it takes full effect with no side effects. So the target will take 1d6 plus craft damage.
Yes. So he is going to take 1d6 plus 6.
And welcome, Gapiro.
Oh,
man. So the good news is that already they had a javelin in their back. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, he's like, "Tunk," and then
acting as a lightning
literally goes flying off the cart, just and dry and dead. And the one, and something else happens at this point, which is that the terrified donkey, lifts up and just and starts running with the guy trying to grab for the reins. It is just bolting while the two bandits are there. And in the back you can see some object banging up and down underneath the blanket. Of course, you all know what that is. Okay. So that leaves one who did not have a chance to go yet. Everyone else had their actions, which was an interesting experience. Okay. So I am going to have the other bandit go up and to engage the shadow lump, I guess you could say. And I'm going to have lump make a defense test. However, I need to double check and see. So Cloak of Shadows, any damage the target would take as a result of ranged or melee attacks is halved. Okay. Actually, because they can see you, I think what they're going to do, Weddle, is they're going to try to hit you. I'm going to give them a -1 to do it because you are on the top of, as I've heard, a Void Troll. So they're going to give you a -1 to that. But you are visible and they are not. So they're going to try to attack you. So what I need you to do here, and I'm also going to use one of my Dark Fate. I'm going to use one of my Dark Fate, and I'm going to use one of my Dark Fate to boost the threat of this creature that is attacking. So let's see. I'll be able to increase the threat by 1d6 for 1 round. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what that is. I will just make sure that I have it by pulling up my dice roller, which I totally had right here the whole time and didn't just remember to pull up. Okay. So, okay, now I know what that is. Great. Okay, so you are going to have to make a defense test for me, Weddle. This is a defense against a melee attack. So you're going to be either using agility or brawn, basically, to defend against this thing that is happening.
Well, actually, I'd quite like to use my special ability, Subtle. When an enemy forces you to roll a defense test, if it is within range to attack a character or another one of your allies, you can spend a Light Fate and make a Deception, Wits, or Resolve test. The difficulty is equal to its threat. So I'm probably going to fail, to be honest.
Okay.
If your roll is a standard success or better, it targets a character or ally the attacker is hostile towards instead of you, which is why I've been riding Lump.
Ah, lovely. That makes a lot of sense. I'm on board with all of it. Okay. So, yes, you'll have to make this test. It's going to be tough because of the Dark Fate, but it's a good play. I like it.
Yeah, also, I realize now that I didn't put any skills or anything in deception.
Really? Well, because you're just so open-hearted, and like, so
Yeah.
that's
I
all.
never have to lie. I just sing songs. I'm so wholesome and lovely.
Okay, so you're going to be making a deception test. Well, if you're going to make a deception test, then you're going to be using. So since you don't have any, you're saying you don't have the skill in question.
Oh.
Okay, so what I would say then is you are going to, so you don't have any focus. So you're basically looking at, you're going to be making basically like a wits check then. So this would be wits. So you'll be doing a wits test. So you would roll.
It does say wits or resolve.
Wits or resolve?
It says it in the description.
Yeah, the thing about it is this. Okay, well then, all right. Then I guess you can choose either one then for that, either wits or resolve.
Thank you.
So then you're going to make. So then you're going to do that test, which is going to be 3d6 plus resolve, I believe. A 17. A 17 is exceedingly good. It is not enough. The dark fate was greater than that number. So unfortunately, you have failed, and he is not interested in your deception and is like, "Oh, you stop talking up there," and just swings away at you instead. So unfortunately, although it was a good play, I will ask you instead to make a defense test. And in this case, you're going to be doing this with either agility or brawn. It looks like this would, I'm assuming, be agility for you, but it's you actually get to choose this, so agility would be okay.
Yep.
So again, 3d6, and you're going to add your agility to it. All right, so we've got
15.
a 3, 5, 3, and we've got a 15, which normally would have worked were it not for my extraordinarily well-spent Dark Fate back there, which created this effect. So that means, sadly, that you are not going to resist any of the damage or effect. You are going to take full damage. So let's find out what that full damage is. Let's see. It says destroy dwarf minstrel. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. Just joking.
I'm beginning to think that the whole, like, making the big tanky guy invisible thing might have been a little bit of a mistake.
Might have backfired if you're on.
Slightly, but listen, I mean,
Welcome to our party.
yes.
Yay.
Now
I have no
question.
regrets.
I have a question for you, Bruce. How much? What armor does Weddle have, if any?
Leather.
Okay, so what that means is you're going to take 10 points of damage, but you're going to subtract from it the armor that you have on. So you're going to take 7 points of damage. However, you're now going to mark one of those armor points off. So the way it works is you basically X out one of the armor points. And so you do that, and then the other 2 points of armor, so you used one. The first one of those points is an X. The second 2 are just slashes. The reason that we do it that way is it means that the next time you're in combat, you have only an effective armor rating of 2 until you take some time to basically refit the armor and get rid of those slashes and make it so that it's back to somewhat normal. And eventually, when all of the squares are used up with X's, it means that the armor is completely destroyed, which is obviously not great. For now, the leather is not going to protect you from any further damage this combat. So let's hope you don't take any more. I'm sure you won't. I'm sure it'll be fine. So you took a grand total of 7 points of damage there. And the bandit's like, "Oh, that's what you deserve, it is. You and your shadow air." And just sees a fist, and then it's like at the first time he's like, "Oh," like he sort of notices the fist for the first time. But in any case, okay, that brings us back up to the beginning of the next combat. Again, you can all decide together what you would like to do in terms of what order. Just to make you clear about the battlefield, there is one person left on the cart. The cart is sprinting while the donkey is running as fast as it can with the cart away, freaked out, with a bandit trying to get the reins again. And there are two bandits there, one bandit that has had its rib cage crushed by Lump, and the other one that has just struck a blow against Weddle.
So I'd like to bring up my previous plan of casting Shatter on the cartwheel.
Okay.
But I don't think that'd stop the donkey is the only problem. So we may just have a wreck bulldozing through the field.
Why don't you just shatter the donkey? No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible.
That would be messy.
Could you shatter the reins on the donkey?
Also, we will have a broken cart then.
Well, what my thinking was, if we've got, at least if we've got the donkey, we can put the guy on the donkey.
I paid very good money for this cart and donkey.
I'm just putting that out there.
I'm fine with shattering the wheel. I'm pretty sure we're going to figure something out, right? Right?
Yeah, we always do. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So
last time we figured something out, I was dragged behind a minecart.
That was figuring something out, though, to be clear.
That was
Actually,
figuring something out on the fly.
That might be the last time I used Shatter as well, if I remember correctly.
It's something about carts and you and Shatter, right? Like,
Those things aren't connected. I just want to point that out. Those things are definitely not connected. Every time he uses Shatter, things don't go sideways. I mean, most of the time he uses Shatter, things go sideways.
Right.
that's because he used Shatter in the boss fight and it was really, really good.
True.
That was a good point, actually. Yeah.
See. But
I didn't know, and then I set the room on fire.
I'll be very honest. I'm completely in favor of shattering that cartwheel, and I'm going to. Cartwheel is a different thing.
No cartwheels, right?
Cartwheel, yeah, cartwheel.
That's fine.
Wheel and a
okay,
cart.
so
goes around.
I'm pretty sure the bandit will also cartwheel then, because that is going to be a really quick stop. But
Yeah.
I'll still go and fetch the bandit on the cart. That's what I would like to do.
Okay, so I'll go first with Shatter.
Okay, Reginald, go first with Shatter.
I'll go. I would like to go second and after the cart.
Okay.
I will go after Regina. I want to go before Weddle.
Okay. So Weddle would go. Are you okay with that, Weddle?
As long as Weddle's okay, we're going last.
Yeah, I think I've learned my lesson.
Weddle's like, that's fine. Like,
You don't have to learn your lesson. You're in our group. Like
yeah, there's no lessons.
Yeah. We've been playing D&D together for like 5 years now. We've still not learned a lesson.
Hashtag no lessons learned. All right. Okay, let's begin with Reginald. So, Reginald, you are going to try to shatter this thing. And shatter, which I should know because you've used it multiple times before.
I was just double checking. I mean, it has
basic
to be something
arcane or
that's
nature.
small enough to be carried by a single individual, which a cartwheel in itself, I think it's not like I'm trying to shatter the entire cart.
Yes, I think I will tell you that what the result of this on the cart and theoretically everything in it and the donkey will be unpredictable. That said, if you know that, then sure. I mean, that's fine.
I think I'm going to throw a point of light fate at this as well.
Only because I mentioned that, right? You're like, actually. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go after this with Shatter, which is going to be with the light fate, 4d6 plus 7.
Give me one. No,
Okay.
That's fine. That's good. Yep.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so we have.
I mean, I get my point of light fate back.
You do get your point of light
let me
fate back.
just double check. I don't think there's any Kismet conditions on Shatter.
7, 13.
No. Do I drop the 5 and hope that's enough for the great success? No, I'm gonna drop the 1, keep it at a 19 standard success if it makes it.
Okay. So, so what that means is, as you take this, so you are going to keep it as the standard success, because technically, it should actually be a great success, right? Because you got doubles, and you exceeded the amount. So it. Well,
that's what I mean, but I don't know what target I was trying to beat. So I've got the choice of either dropping the 5, hoping the 15 is enough.
I see what you're saying.
And making it a great success, or dropping the 1, which is more likely to succeed, but as a standard success.
Good call.
So I'll keep it. I'm going to drop the 1. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to drop the 1 and keep it as a standard if it succeeds.
It 100% absolutely, succeeds. That's the good news. Now, one of the things that happens on a standard success, and a complication I determine, is that your spell is only partially successful. And boy, do I have a partial success for you, because this wheel just blows up, shatters into wood fragments, and the cart goes like lands on the back and begins basically creating this massive groove in the earth. But because it's down on the right and the donkey's still freaking out, the donkey begins to bend to the right with the wheel. So now it's basically as the entire cart with donkey is starting to basically create a circle around the battlefield. When this happens also, the body flies out and lands on the ground. And you see Morris half in the, cover, half on the ground, and you just get a glimpse of the flower. But have the petals been removed? Have they been? You don't know yet. But in any case, Morris on the ground and the donkey with the cart, with the bandit trying desperately to hold on and like grab for the reins at the same time. So it's chaos, basically, is what I'm saying, and that's all good stuff. Well done, Reginald. Okay, Regina, you can see this cart is, around the way. If you want, I think you said you wanted to go after the other person who was on the cart, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think that's I still want the cart to stop, because he might run over Morris, or the donkey might hurt itself.
Yes.
Like horrible things could happen.
That's true.
So the thing is, I'm not sure. It depends a little bit on what you allow me to do, but
All
I
right.
would like to streak down there,
Okay.
fly on the donkey's back, and try to make it stop.
So you're basically gonna pull back on its head, is what we're talking about?
There should be reins, so I'm gonna grab the reins and do standing on its back, like on a surfboard. Yeah,
Okay.
stop.
So here's what I'm going to say to that. I will
Like
allow
riding.
that. I will allow that, but I'm going to warn you that when you do that, you are potentially leaving yourself open, if you don't succeed super well with it, to an attack from the person who's on the cart, who's already trying to get the reins. I'm just letting you know.
Wow, is he that stupid? Well, that I can't.
He is not particularly bright, or he clearly would not still be on the cart after what he's just seen in the last 30 seconds.
Also very true. Okay, but still, I would like to do that. If you allow that.
Sure.
As a stunt maneuver.
So, I love the stunt maneuver. All right, so let me see. I want to see if this is like a choice between.
Riding has actually stunt maneuvers as a sub.
Does
as
it
a
really?
sub-thing.
Does riding?
Yes.
Is it really? It's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see.
have
Ride.
written it
We try to
down.
do anything out of the ordinary. Okay.
Yes.
Focuses in specific animal type. I wish you had a focus in donkey. It would be the best.
I don't have.
But okay. So we are going to say that you're going to try to ride it, and that's going to be clearly either insight or agility. Yeah, this is not a trick. So we're going to say insight. So we're going to say 3d6 plus your aspect. I know you don't have a focus in racing, tricks, long distance, or donkeys. So we're just going to say 3d6. So it's just 3d6 plus 2 is going to be your...
So you do assume that I do have riding, because otherwise it's just 3d6, just saying.
Oh, you don't have riding at all?
I do have riding, but I was wondering.
Well, I was
how
assuming you were. No, otherwise I would have been like, no. Okay, yeah. So 3D, actually not 3d6 plus 2, 3d6 plus your aspect, because it's that plus your aspect, and the aspect would be insight here.
Side. Yes. Okay.
Reginald has just created his first crop circle.
I think I'm just gonna burn my second light fate for this.
Okay.
Before rolling. Okay, and here we go. So it's 4d6 plus my wonderful insight, which I have a lot of, because we all know
Clearly.
that Regina is particularly insightful.
That's what Regina's all about.
Yes, I'm very, very insightful. Okay. I
Alright.
dropped the 3, which is 15.
Yep.
But I can't drop anything lower, so 3 is what I have to drop here.
Okay, so we're going to say 15.
Yes.
So we're
Stop
going to
the
say
donkey.
that is, yeah, so we're going to say that is a great success. So that means you are able to pull back, and with a tremendous feat of strength, the donkey, as you kind of pull back on it, and kind of screeches to a halt, and the cart comes to a stop, and the bandit kind of flails around and essentially rolls off the cart, like just basically tries to reach for you, can't even do it, kind of like falls off, but doesn't like fall to the ground prone and dead, is sort of rolls to his feet with his sword drawn, ready to go. But the cart and the donkey have been stopped. And at the cost of a devastated back right wheel, but hey, who's counting?
I would have been like to be shouting during all of this.
Oh, good. I was assuming. Yes.
Yeah, this stuff.
Do you shout anything of victory at the end of this, or are you just like, okay, I'm good?
I'll like do a fist pump in the air, like, yes, donkey.
The donkey is just its sides heaving, like sweat pouring down its sides.
A Shrek-esque donkey.
Donkey. All right.
Aim the donkey. I just forgot about it.
That's good stuff, Regina. That's going to lead us to Lump. You were in front of a person whose ribcage you just recently crushed.
So are there two people in front of me, or just one person?
There is one person in front of you. There is actually no. I take that back. There's two people. There's the person whose ribcage you just crushed, and the other one who just struck at Weddle.
So the person whose ribcage I just crushed, are they still like around?
They're functional, but not. They got hurt badly, but they're still there. I mean, they're just like
cool. This makes
trying to
get
some air.
This makes a lot more sense then. Okay, so after seeing full rib Dave Bandit attack Weddle, I'm immediately going to slap my fist onto my chest, spend a light fate, and using my anvil skill, give both myself and Weddle 3 bonus armor points.
Ooh.
So, yeah. For those of you who wish to know the flavor text for this, you are the anvil upon which your enemies break. On your turn, you may spend 1 light fate and gain 3 armor points, as long as you are wielding a weapon, using a shield, or wearing a suit of armor. Each character or other ally within your reach also gains 3 armor points. A creature can't gain more than 3 armor points using this special ability. And if multiple adjacent creatures attempt to grant this bonus, the armor bonus will last for the duration of this combat. So we get 3 bonus armor points.
Good stuff. Weddle, you feel surprisingly protected at this moment, comparatively.
I always feel protected when I'm with Lump. That's why we stick together.
There's a growl from the void troll that just sort of goes, "Wed friend, no hurt."
Nice. Okay. And that ability, that's Anvil, you said, right? And that's just your...
Yes.
That's just your special ability. Does it say it requires an action?
That is a special ability. I'm just double-checking that right now. I don't think it does, but I'm just double-checking.
Sounds like a full action.
Your query is important to me. Where on earth...
There'll be answer to the order it was received.
It'll be in advanced. That's what it'll be in. It won't be in my class. It will be in the page I don't have bookmarked. Excellent stuff.
Yes, I think Saber also brings up a good point. It's important to remember that Regina is a sprite. So I just want to point out that a sprite stopped the donkey just then, just to be clear. Yeah.
We would expect nothing else at this point.
Yeah. I'll be clear about that.
Warrior. Where is my warrior page? Sorry, stand by. Wrong at the alphabet. Let me see if it takes a full action. Thief, warrior, there we go. The anvil. It doesn't say it takes an action. It just says on your turn you can spend 1 light fate to gain 3 armor points. It's page 109 if you want to double check it.
No, I believe you. We'll say it's a free action then. So
it doesn't say it's an action.
So then you've got, because you've used a light fate to do it, so that's fine too.
Yes.
Because you're out of it now. 0 light fate. Okay.
Yes.
You may now proceed with your full action, which I'm going to guess does not involve talking diplomatically to these two. Yeah. Which one? On the one that attacked Weddle, or the one that is currently trying to find his ribs?
The one that attacked Weddle, because that's what Lump would react to most.
Okay. Then you
Strategically, I want to kill the one that's dying, but
right.
Reactionally, I want to hit the one that hit my friend.
So. Okay, that sounds good. I have also spent, just before that, I have spent a light fate. I've spent one of your light fate. That's how powerful I am. I've spent a dark fate let me say my second, to increase the threat of this bandit. All right.
Okay.
And now I know what that is. Okay. Good, lovely. All right. So now you may attempt to attack this thing.
Excellent.
And again, you're going to be doing your full thing with the plus, the plus, and the plus, the plus. Now you do not get the
plus, the
benefit
plus,
this
and the plus.
time of Weddle's assist, though.
I
Weddle's
do
too
not.
busy bleeding.
That's fine.
So
No, that's absolutely fine. So I get that. So it is 1d6. No, 3d6, sorry. 3d6 plus my aspect plus 2 for my focus. Roll. And I have rolled. Okay. So a couple of things have happened here. Firstly, I've got my life 8 back.
Yep.
Secondly, does a 24 hit the target?
so a 24 will hit the target. Yes.
Will hit the target. Fantastic.
Yes.
Because I rolled a 6 on the Kismet die, not that this particularly matters, I have healed because I'm a troll, and whenever I roll a 6 on the Kismet die, I magically heal. But I also get to add 1d6 to my following damage roll because I'm using a weapon that does weigh in at 1d6 because of the troll skill Stone Fist, which apparently I have. I just didn't write it on my sheet.
Sounds like a plan. This is a standard success, by the way, so you will hit your target for full damage, but your opponent is going to hit you for half damage. So we'll talk about that once you do your damage to him.
Yes.
So please proceed and roll your damage with the additional stuff you just talked about.
Yes, fantastic stuff. Bear with me 2 seconds. So 2 weapon fighting, damage. So standard success, that's fine. That's just an adding a 2. Excellent stuff. So that is 2, 6. I think it's going to be 2d6 plus 2. Let me just double check my yes, if you roll a 6 on the Kismet die with Stone Fists, you add 1d6. You roll 2d6 for damage.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
That couldn't have gone worse.
Wow.
That couldn't have gone worse.
Unreal. Okay. So, 4 points of damage, which will be...
whole 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage, which will be somewhat reduced by the armor of that person.
I like to think that Lump just sort of got really angry, slammed the ground instead, and all the rock shrapnel just flew at the bandit, and they're just like, "Oh, it's in my eye!"
Oh! It's like, I'm scraped very badly.
Yeah.
So
that's going to take hours to heal.
So he is going to do half damage back to you. So
Cool.
let's see. That means that he is going to do... Okay, so that's going to be 6 points of damage, but that is subtracted for your armor points is subtracted from that. So you got 3 that you just got, and what did you have before?
3 bonus.
So you had...
I have scale mail on, so I have 11 points of armor.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it does not hit you at all. It is, however, going to mark off. So, because we remember how to do this now, it's going to mark 6 points, remember, off of your armor. And the first of those points is going to be X'd out. And that only will be fixed, remember, by a blacksmith. The other one of those points are not usable for the rest of this combat. And then you can use, you can take a moment out of combat to refit those slash marks.
Okay. So are we saying that those... Yeah, so the bonus ones, I don't know if the X will be in one of the bonus points or one of my actual armor.
I would say it would go bonus first, right? So
Bonus
I think it would go bonus first and then your armor.
Yep. That favors me. So
But I think that's what the intention of it is.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's fine.
So yeah, so then you X out one of the bonus armor basically, slash
And
on
then
2 of the other
slash
armor,
out.
and then the remainder go onto your armor as just slashes.
Slash.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That
Which
makes
means
it
you
more
take no damage because you are the anvil on which your enemies break, as we previously described. All right. And I'm wrong because I said half damage. I'm completely wrong. That's only 3 points of damage. I apologize.
Oh, excellent.
It's only
Okay,
3.
cool.
So don't even worry about your armor. It's just your bonus stuff that's been used up
just
now.
my bonus armor.
Okay.
So one X, 2 notches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
good stuff. Walk it off. Okay, right. So there's that, and that's going to lead us to Weddle is up next. Weddle, as your vision clears after being hit, after the taste of your own blood.
Right. Well, I guess I'll do a melee attack then.
Okay. I assume on the one who hit you, that lump also just hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the melee attack, you are going to be again. You're going to be making a test in this. So you're going to be attacking with. Let's see. I think it would be. It's probably agility for a rapier for your attack. So yes, you're going to be making an agility test, which means since you do have the skill, and since you also would have a let's see, you would also have a focus. So for melee, the focuses would be. Do you have a focus in? You're using a rapier, right? So I guess that's small blades. I'm guessing.
No, I don't have a focus.
Okay, so then it's just melee.
I put all of my focuses into entertain. I got multiple focuses in entertain. I sing, I dance, I do instruments.
That's fine. Just the fighting bandits that stole your donkey is not one of the more common elements. That's fine. So then you just have 3d6 plus your aspect, which in this case would be agility. So 3d6 plus agility. And this same bandit, remember, is dealing with a higher threat because I gave them threat at the beginning of this round. So be aware of that.
17.
A 17. So first of all, I note there is a 1 on that Kismet die. And with a 1 on the Kismet die, I think I get a Dark Fate back, but let me confirm. I'd be very appreciative of that. Let's see.
It's bloody typical. I rolled 2 6s and the 1 is on the Kismet die.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. 11. I just need to find the actual info about what happens with the Kismet die. So, yes, let's see. Right, if there is a 1 generated. Yep, gains a point of Dark Fate. Okay, cool. So I will take that point of Dark Fate back. Thanks, appreciate it. And I'm sorry to tell you that the 17 is not going to hit this thing. Again, my Dark Fate doing its work. It does not hit, I'm sorry to say. So it is a failure. It's too bad, too, because it would have been a great success if it had passed the number. It does not pass the number because of the power of Dark Fate. So what that means is that your opponent is going to be able to hit you for full damage. Now, the only thing I need to double check about this is... Oh, yeah, because you were engaged with that enemy. Yes, so yes. Okay. So I'm going to see what this damage is on you. Fortunately, it does not roll nearly the same damage this time, but it is still 5 points of damage here that you're going to get, Weddle. And this time you can't reduce it because you've already used up your armor. Oh, wait, no, I take that back. You got those 3 armor from Lump. I take that back. So with the bonus, so those 3 points are gone, but you only take 2 points of life damage because of that 3 points of bonus. Good call, Lump. That would have been bad. Okay. Right. Still not great.
I just want it noted that I'm not doing anything for the rest of this fight. I'm just going to sing a song and inspire everyone else. I'm done here. I'm done. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
I'm a singer. Don't hit the musician. Okay. So that's going to bring us up to the beginning of the combat again. We have 3 bandits that remain. One of them is fresh and just fell off the cart that Regina brought to a stop. One of them is still trying to get over its sucking chest wound. Oh, actually, that sucking chest wound guy, I beg your pardon, he still needs to go. He hasn't gone from last turn. So sucking chest wound guy is going to come in and deal with the one who just sucking chest wounded him, and is going to attempt to attack you. So what I'm going to need from you, please, Lump, is I'm going to need a defense test. This is going to be using brawn, a defense against melee attacks here.
Defense test as in 3d6 plus brawn?
Correct, 3d6 plus brawn.
So I also, because of 2 weapon fighting, get a +1 to melee defense test. So I'm just going to add
Nice. So 3d6 plus brawn plus 1.
Yep, 3d6 plus brawn plus 1. I rolled better than last time.
Okay,
21.
and that is clearly better than this person who has not been dark fated up. And so it is a failure. It is a success. It is a success rather, a standard success, I believe, right? Because you didn't get doubles there. Okay, so standard success, which means that you will only suffer half of the damage that is being done. So he's going to try to roll. He did roll quite well just then. So that means we're looking at 5 damage, but now, and that's halved from 10. So 5 damage minus your. Now, what are we looking at with armor that's left for you, Lump?
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of armor left.
Okay, so slash, just single slash through 5 of those. You still have taken no damage. Your armor has taken a lot of damage, but not you. Okay. Now we're up to the top. I apologize for that. Okay, so as I say, you've got 3 bandits. You've got one of them with very injured, one of them a little injured, and one of them is fresh, just off the cart. What order would you like to go in, people?
I don't have a preference.
Kind of like to smush the one with the open chest wound, not gonna lie.
I was thinking of trying to smite the one that you two are having a bit of trouble with. The
I'm just going to be
pair.
singing songs from now on. So
I can go last, and we'll then we'll see of the evil card stealer. We'll see about the evil card stealer.
Yep,
So
that's true.
does that sound like Lump going first?
I'll go second.
Reginald 2, and then Weddle 3, singing away, doing something, and then Regina 4. Is that right? Okay.
Sounds right.
All right. Sounds good. Before this begins, I am going to spend 2 dark fate I'm going to spend a dark fate on each of the 2 bandits in front of the troll and in front of Lump and Weddle. So
Everybody
each
in
of them
chat,
have been
boo.
boosted. And let's see by how much.
You can turn this into a pantomime. Boo the villain. Boo.
Okay, got it. All right. So you were up first, Lump.
Oh, I'm going to focus on the one with the giant chest wound, and I'm going to swing both fists in their general direction.
Okay.
More in like a... So my fists have just hit the ground, and I'm just going to kind of scrape them along the ground towards the one and try and like lift them off the ground.
This is an Elden Ring boss move. I've seen this actually happening. That's what you're doing. This is an Elden
I don't know what
Ring.
he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm definitely not taking all of Lump's combat abilities from Elden Ring.
They roll out of the way and then they drink their flask. No, I'm just kidding.
They do at the minute. Jeez, if I can't roll properly.
Okay, so yes, that's fine. So you were going to go ahead and make your melee attack test, please.
Yep. So that plus that plus that. I don't have guidance or anything like that. Which one was it? It was that one. I rolled poorly, 15, and you get a dark fate. These dice hate me.
That's appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it might be.
I am sorry to tell you that thanks to that use of previous dark fate, that does not hit. These things are using the benefit of. I'm getting some good stuff on the dark fate. That does not hit, and it is therefore a failure. I'm sorry to say, which means that your opponent hits you for full damage. Which means as you come in, they hit. Now that's going to be 6 damage minus your armor. So what do you have left?
3, so 3 points of damage.
Finally, Lump actually personally takes damage. Okay. My goodness. Okay. All right. There's that. Reginald, you're up next.
Okay. So once again, the robed figure. I should point out again what people haven't mentioned is Reginald's dressed in a hooded robe and carrying a scythe. He knows exactly what it looks like.
Yes.
And he points the scythe at the healthier of the pair fighting ahead of him. And he blasts forth with another lightning bolt with a light fate thrown in for good measure.
Okay. Lightning bolt it is. Okay, so spell casting test is what we're looking at.
It's in a shocking break from my usual spell preference. Okay, so that's going to be another 4d6 plus 7.
Ooh, look at that.
I will drop the 3 to make that 23.
23 is a hit and is in fact a great success.
Yes.
So that means I believe that we're talking about some full out damage without anything back. Yeah, full effect with no side effects.
Yeah, 1d6 plus 6.
On the healthy one, the healthier one.
Yes, for 8 points of damage.
Okay, it goes slamming like he staggers back. not dead, but is scorched, like you smell burnt. It's bad. There's just sulfurous, like the whole business. It's not good. He is in terrible shape. All right, that was impressive. But I'm sure not as impressive as Weddle's going to be right here with some awesome music or something. What do you want to do, Weddle?
Yeah, Weddle's gonna sing an inspiring traditional dwarven battle tune.
Okay.
He's still holding his rapier and doesn't have the hands free to change over to the kurth, which is, a traditional type of bowed lyre that some people seem to mistake for a lute.
I've been told this, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just
going to use a dark fate to turn your instrument into a lute so that I can understand it more easily. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, all right. So you're going to sing that song. Is that actually a mechanical? Are you actually mechanically doing something, or was that just awesome for flavor?
No, I'm just singing a song. I can sing the song for you as well if you like.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
All right. And I want us all to imagine that as the fight's been going on, like what's that Simon Pegg film? Where they're fighting in the pub with the zombies.
Yes,
Everything's timed to the
Oh.
beat of this song, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right, it goes like this. It goes, on battlefields the blood is spilled, soaking into soil. When day becomes the reddest stone from which is born iron. Iron, 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 iron. Give your blood for iron. Iron, 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 iron. We'll take your blood for iron. And having spilled a little life, we'll spill a little more. Until the ground is reddest mud and rusting with your iron. Iron, 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 iron. Give your blood for iron. Iron, 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 iron. We'll take your blood for iron.
Have a light fate.
Excellent.
Take a light fate. That clearly deserves a light fate.
Nice.
So you sing this
you.
badass song.
As everyone's fighting.
Now I'm going to change the song over to Zombie Chase in honor of what you just did. I happen to have one called Zombie Chase. That was pretty awesome. Okay, that was clutch. I figured Triffid would like that. Good stuff. All right, so you get a light fate. You sing the heck out of it, and that's going to lead us to Regina, who hears this as you are facing a somewhat disturbed and bamboozled but still healthy bandit that just fell off a cart.
Awesome. I want to fly over and poke him with my spear because I am out of javelins because I had 2.
That's right. Okay, melee attack that it is. Now, this one has not had a dark fate added, so this is just the normal threat that you're dealing with. So you are going to use your skill, which I'm sure you have, and you have a focus, which probably fits too, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So 3d6 plus aspect plus 2. Let's see it.
Yes. 1 moment. Where did I put it? There. No, that's the wrong thing.
was gonna
I'm
say,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a very confused person sometimes. There. This looks right.
Ah, that looks much better. Yes, and
18.
that is going to be a hit. It is a standard success. It does mean that your opponent will hit you for half damage, but you get to hit them for full damage first, or at the same time. So go ahead and roll your damage on this attack, please.
Okay. I only have 1 spear, so I'm using it 2-handed. That is 1d6 plus 7 for damage. Now, that was the correct roll. There we go. Wow, our damage rolls are amazing.
Wow. Okay. So 8, and then of course that'll be subtracted from. There's armor there. So okay. All right. That got his attention. It's a solid hit. In the meantime, he hits you back and is going to do this after the half is going to do 5 points of damage minus your armor. So what's your armor look like right now, Regina?
Currently, my armor is at 11.
Okay, so it means you're going to take 5 points on there. 4 of those are slashes,
Yes.
and 1 of them is an X. The first box is an X, and the next 4 are slashes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna add 1 back. I'm gonna add 4 back at the end of the because the sheet doesn't have X's and slashes.
Okay, that's
At
fine.
least mine
Just as long,
doesn't.
that's fine. Just as long as we remember. Okay, but you don't take any damage yourself because of the armor. Okay, great, awesome. That was impressive. And that brings us. Let's see. So we had the person who you went after the ribcage. Lump went after the ribcage guy. Weddle was singing. Reginald went after the non-ribcage guy. So that means that actually everybody has been, one way or the other, has been affected that was involved in the combat. So that means they all went, which means we're at the beginning of the combat again, or the beginning of the round. So again, the party can decide what order they would like to attack in. You now have 1 pretty badly hurt, 1 horrifically hurt and still smoldering, and 1 kind of hurt, decently hurt, after Regina's attack of the bandits. So with that said, what would you like to do, party, in terms of your order?
Lum wants to take a second to catch a breath.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Reginald will go first.
All right.
Then I'll go second and continue to stabby step.
All right.
What's your plan, Weddle?
I'll assist someone. Lump.
Does the assist happen? Does the assist have to happen at a certain point, or is it just?
No, that's the stated action of the person, is that they're helping you. So since
Okay,
it
cool.
doesn't matter what order they go in, really. So,
Okay,
I mean, if
I'll
you
go
want to go
first.
after Weddle, just for, I mean, that it doesn't matter, Lump, really.
Yeah, I'll go after Weddle then.
So it would be Reginald, Regina, Weddle, and Lump. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Reginald. All right, Reginald, what are you going to do?
So Reginald's robe starts to billow and the wind starts picking up and people
Ooh.
can feel like their hair getting blown around. And yeah, it's going to be a gust of wind at the centered around the 2 people fighting Lump.
These are not bats, just so you know, all right? You're not going to destroy my...
You're not going to destroy a cave.
A
of
golden
Still
bats.
bitter about that.
tree.
I would have been bitter if it wasn't for the fact that then the pit destroyed you right thereafter. That was the best part. Oh, man. Okay.
One shot the group of bats, spend the rest of the session trying to get across a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. we did.
Okay. So intense winds sweep away the target and any enemy within 10 meters of the target. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're looking at those 2. All right. So yes, you're going to be, now this one is a difficulty 11. So this one is actually not anyone else. It's just difficulty against yourself. So you're just trying to beat an 11 with your cast.
Okay.
How many
Yeah,
spell
so-
points do you have left, by the way, Arjun?
This will take me down to 2 after this
Got it.
spell.
Cool.
Well, the good news is I beat an 11.
And it is thanks for the dark fade. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you got an 18. So you absolutely did. Okay, so and you were, I assume, using this you were gusting it against the people in front of Lump, right? I'm
Yes.
guessing. Okay. So they are all knocked to the ground, taking damage equal to your craft. All right.
That's 6 damage apiece.
6 damage apiece. Well, both of them. So they swoop up, slam into each other painfully, and then hit the ground and lie still and unmoving. They are, as they say, pining for the fjords. They have ceased to be. They are ex-bandits. All right, they expire.
Everybody's looking away, but in the background you can see Reginald twirl his scythe. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it.
That's pretty impressive. All right. Good stuff. That was quite an attack. And let's see. So, yeah, and I would say that there will be, because it was just a regular success, I will say that there will be a complication associated with it. I would say the complication is not going to involve, because they could, I mean, it all happens simultaneously, but there's not much they're going to do to the gust. So instead, what I will say is that because this is a standard success, you are going to need to spend 1 extra spell point. Otherwise, you will be strained by spellcasting, which means you would suffer a -2 penalty to spellcasting tests unless you have a short rest. So you can either spend an extra strength, spell kill point, or you're going to be strained.
I'm going to take the strained.
Okay.
I think.
So
because
-2
there's
to
one
all
guy left.
spellcasting tests. Okay. Sounds fine. All right. Good work. That leads us to Regina. You have just the person in front of you.
Yes, let's poke him again.
Yeah. All right, Arudnell. You keep quiet. You. He's like, let's be clear. These are not bats. You're not going to 2 bandits dead. All right. Look, it's the B. Okay. Notice you can't spell bandits without BATS. I'm just saying. Okay. So I just need to make sure I don't put saber and a spell with wind anywhere near anything with a B in it. Okay, so the banshees I was going to bring out, I guess. Okay, so you're going to make your melee attack test, please. Gina.
Yeah, let me one quickly because my attack bonus is this. Yeah, this is completely fine. It comes. I just wondered because the numbers came out to the same, but it's completely correct. Look, I give you a dark fate because I'm like that.
Thanks.
16.
Let's see, man. I should have used some of these to pump up these people. Let's see. 60. I could, if I had, then it wouldn't have been. But yes, that is going to hit. That is a standard success. So you're going to roll your damage, and he will inflict half damage on you.
Okay. There, 12.
Wow. Okay.
Better.
So
There, this finally damage.
that's impressive.
Good
So
roll.
first of all, I'm gonna inflict the damage because he's about to be an X bandit too. You are going to take let's see, 8 halved, so 4 points of damage against your armor, which probably you use. I think you still have more armor points left than damage, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so just slash those up. Otherwise, your strike lands, and with a gurgle, he just slides to the ground. And as the music halts, and you all stare around yourself, you can hear there's sort of just a moment of looking at this massive like groove in the earth that's halfway around all of you. A bunch of shattered wood, Weddle looking a little the worse for wear, and then you hear like, "Hee-haw," and the donkey looks pretty freaked out. But you have defeated the bandits. The body is lying on the ground, half out of its cover. The wagon is on one wheel. And just as a quick note for people who took armor damage in that fight, so the X that I asked you to put in, which was just that first hit, that X can only be repaired by a blacksmith. So that will be unavailable to you. So now the only thing you have left available to you are the slashes that you may have used on your armor. Those slashes will remain until you take what I think is a short rest, if I'm not mistaken. And during your short rest, you can refit your armor, which means you clear all of those slashes. So is everyone clear on that? Because, Weddle, this is the first time I know you used armor, so it was confusing to us for a while. Sure, go ahead.
Well, actually, as useless as I was in that fight, I have some useful special abilities.
Oh, tell me more.
Other than singing songs. One of them is called Forge Iron.
Mm-hmm.
Forge or repair items using only a small campfire.
Love it.
Artisan or tinkering test against moderate difficulty. Repair damaged armor or weapons, except heirloom weapons or mastercrafted weapons and armor. Spend light fate to give a single weapon an additional 1d6 damage on its next attack.
That's pretty
Nice.
slick. So you can do that actually, I think, during a short rest. So you will be able to repair the X that I mentioned. Now, I don't know if you can do that. I think you probably can only do that to one like bit of armor at a time. I don't think you can do it all on one go. I don't think. I think it's just
I would
like,
assume so.
So it would just be one armor, but still that's like super useful. Yes. Super useful.
I was going to maybe, if you allow it, allow me instead to repair the cart wheel that was shattered.
I can't let that go with that. For 2 reasons. Number 1, because it's made out of wood anyway, not made out of iron. And number 2, it is splinters, and you can speak to your resident ghoul about that.
Yeah, shatter is exactly what it says on the tin. Oblivionized.
I do like the idea though of Weddle leaping down and being like, "Let's see what I can do about this wheel." The Reginald is just standing with just splinters of wood.
Just sawdust.
Yeah, it's just like,
picking all of his sawdust out of the mud.
Love's like,
Reginald.
how much do you
all
need?
around is the gust of wind.
Right. I paid 10 gold for this cart and donkey. Reginald, you owe me like at least 1 or 2 golds now for ruining my cart that I paid for with my own hard-earned money.
Reginald's
hand it
walking
over.
over to the guy that fell out of the car. He didn't hear.
Did you hear what I said?
Lump, follow him. Walk over there.
I take Weddle off my shoulder. Wed's safer on ground.
Yeah, that's true.
I just pick up a bandit by the foot and I just shake it, see what falls out.
Okay. Yeah.
I start flying zigzag over the battlefield. I want to find my javelins.
Okay, you do find them. In fact, you find, well, one of them you find very easily in the back of one of the, in fact, it's the same bandit that Lump is currently shaking upside down. So you can see the javelin shaking out of the bandit's back. The other one you find just on the ground. Yeah, he just falls out. No, it's permanently in there. It's until you remove it, that is.
That's what I'm shaking
okay.
by.
Yeah. But in terms
that's
of...
mine. That's mine. That's my javelin.
Bandit on stick.
Get your own stick if you want a bandit on stick. That is my stick.
All right. I'll grab his leg and take the javelin out and hand you the javelin. And then
Thank
continue
you.
shaking the bandit, see if anything shiny falls out of his pockets.
There is actually something which falls out of his pockets, and that is 2 gold pieces fall out. Or 2 gold, I should say, not pieces.
Oh, I think Huddle was looking for those.
I do think as finders keepers, I've learned my lesson. I don't take any gold from Lump.
I think because Huddle's cart suddenly broke, this is their gold.
Point over to Reginald. Flesh ghost break cart. Flesh ghost Weds.
Yeah,
There you go. It was
that's
me
not how
that
it
shattered
works.
the wheel.
No.
I was behind everyone for the whole fight.
yeah.
No, that's
Right.
not how it goes. No.
Which one of you lot was this? Who broke my wheel now?
It was the donkey.
Yeah.
Right. There's a donkey. It's like I go up to the donkey. Hold the
Donkey
reins.
looks sadly at you.
You got any gold, mate?
I
got anything?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so. But I've got my eye on you now. I don't hold with any of this behaviour. Oh, my donkeys. I paid good money for you.
The donkey stares in shame.
Yeah, you better.
Lump just
Regina
grabs the
looks-
other bandit and starts shaking the other bandit down.
Okay.
Regina looks
two more gold fall
completely
out of that one.
flabbergasted.
Oh, excellent.
Regina looks completely flabbergasted because in the whole time we've been playing this, nobody has ever believed her when she said something like that. This is the first time it has ever happened. She's like just staring at Gretel, talking to Donkey like,
Wait, what? You believed me?
yeah, this has never happened before.
Okay, so yes, you've found a total so far of 4 gold.
Nice. So if we don't know who actually broke the cart, did the conversation about someone owing Weds 2 gold pieces happen?
No, we worked it out. It was the donkey.
It was a donkey, so
Yeah.
The donkey owes Huedel 2 gold pieces, but we'll sort it out later.
right. You see Lump just pocketing the gold and like picking up like the dagger and like throwing it to one side and like the sword throwing it to one side. Ugh, no more shiny.
Okay. So you do that. I can do a better and more happy donkey. No, this donkey is not happy. Do you know what has just happened to the donkey in the last 10 minutes of its life? This donkey is the opposite of happy. This is a down key, all right? This is not a donkey. This is an unhappy donkey.
I'm going to go over and gently pet the donkey.
Yeah. Kind of looks at you and kind of, nuzzles against your hand.
there's a moment where like Lump doesn't actually know what we're doing at this point, so he just sort of sits next to the donkey, just like almost like a toddler, like sat straight down, legs straight out, that sort of thing, just petting the donkey very carefully.
So when you go over, Reginald, by the way, to Morris, you can see that he's still holding the rose, and somehow miraculously no other petals have fallen from it. But you also can tell that he has stopped snoring. He is still shallowly breathing, though, but he has stopped snoring.
Okay. I'd like to look him over with my first aid skill.
All right. I'll actually give you a different one. Give me a heal. If you can make a heal test, that would be what I'm looking for here.
Healing but disease focus, which I don't think will be relevant.
Right. Yeah, not so much.
Okay, I'll give him a heal. Yeah, it was healing, not first aid. First aid's what you do with healing in a rest.
Right. Yeah. Heal. And it says insight here.
Yeah. I got a 13.
Yeah, that's enough. You get the sense, Reginald, as you're looking over him, that Morris is still sleeping. In fact, he's in a deep, deep sleep, but he seems to be slipping away towards a final slumber. He is paler than when you first found him. His skin shines white in the light of the moon overhead, and his pulse is definitely weaker. He's not dead, but he's starting to fade.
And how many petals are on the rose at the moment?
There are still 3 petals, which is what you had this morning, or with this afternoon when you first took them out.
Okay.
But we will see what happens over the course of the evening, assuming you're setting camp now next to your devastated half cart, 3/4 cart.
We've even got a defensive ditch.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, trench warfare, no problem.
Well, I'll pick up Morris and bring him over towards the carts.
Okay.
That grave digger body handling technique.
Classic.
Just, whoop!
Yep. You feel his chin bang against your back. Like,
Yeah, so I get over there.
At least 2 teeth fall out.
Well, if they were gold, Lump would notice.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Without a doubt. That'd pay for dinner.
Oh, man.
Lump gets ripped off food so much. Oh, an apple, 5 gold, mate.
Sounds good. All right. So you bring him over to the you bring him over to the rest of you. And Regina, you've already picked up your javelin, so you're good there.
Okay. So is just the wheel gone, or is like the whole axle?
Just the wheel. The axle has actually been preserved. It's the axle that actually dug the trench that it was going in.
That doesn't look so bad. It's just the wheel missing.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just hold up this corner while driving. Maybe.
Why not?
No, nobody.
Why not carry body?
Because then you don't have your hands free in case you need them.
But carry cart or carry body that carries cart.
What?
Body on shoulder.
Yeah.
Or body on cart that you hold.
I'm just gonna make a new wheel. That can't be so difficult.
3 years later.
The humans.
Sometime later.
I mean, the humans do it. It can't be that difficult, right?
Can I attempt to forge with my forge iron? It says forge or repair items. Can I attempt to forge a metal wheel to go on that side out of all the swords and...
I was about to say, like, out of what now?
Game of Thrones style wheel.
Swords and daggers from the old bandits. Any metal the bandits had on them.
Could we make it out of the bandits?
Could you make the wheel out of the bandits?
Be gruesome.
It's fine. It's fine. Just...
I'm just trying. I'll just pick up some osier stakes, and I tinker a wheel with Huddle's help.
I'm going to take a look at the forge iron first, because I think there are limitations to this, to what you can do with a small campfire, albeit I appreciate the, as I always tell everyone, I appreciate aspirational role play. But
Forging an iron wheel using a candle
mean,
and good luck is not. It's probably pushing the boundary there.
Pegasus Spiel is like, what are you doing? What are you doing to our game? Like, what? It sounded good.
It's that scene out of the Hobbit movie where they're just like, start the forges, but you just like this one campfire just here, just with a tiny pot of iron.
Oh,
Well,
man.
while my companions attempt to become the greatest blacksmiths that ever lived, I'm going to go around saying last rites for the deceased bandits so that they don't return as vengeful spirits.
That sounds good. This isn't a skill, right? What is this, Weddle?
It's a special ability.
Okay, under Minstrel?
Dwarf.
Oh, under Dwarf. Why would I even? Of course, I should.
Yeah, those minstrels.
Those forging minstrels.
On the...
Well, listen, while they're forging loots that you call something else, like, I mean, it's a different. Okay.
And I have a artisan with a focus in painting. So even if we can't like functionally, we could have a very pretty wheel on our hands.
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to allow you to do
those...
Yeah. I'm going to allow you to do that. I am not going to allow you to reforge the shattered wood wheel, making it out of iron swords. I think there's limits to what a fire can do. I would say that you can, because you can repair damaged armor weapons, not make an entirely new wheel out of them. So I think we're going to say I'd be happy to have you paint and, make them look dramatic. I will actually say, what are you going to use, Regina? You said you were going to use Tinker, because I would allow Weddle to probably assist you. I would allow that.
Yeah,
So
let's make it I looked it up, and these things exist. We can make a wicker wheel.
Oh, wicker wheel. Okay.
Yes.
And I'll paint it with intricate figures so that as it turns, if you shine a light on the bottom bit of the wheel, there's like a little horse that's galloping along.
The question is whether you think this falls under Tinker, what then I could do, or if you think this is more like artisan.
Well, so here's the problem. As well as your ability to make small repairs to broken items. Have we talked about the sawdust that exists? This to put things together and take things apart.
Good kindling for the fire.
Love just gets out a piece of fruit and just starts eating. You have no idea where this food came from.
Just randomly has one.
It might. I think artisan might fit better.
Artisan would definitely do it. Yes.
I don't have
a bit
that.
with a donkey.
I can't. I don't think Tinker's it. I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go back to your idea of making a circle body or something.
I've got artisan.
Oh, do you? Is it in? Yeah. It's in carpentry.
You all called me crazy.
No, it's in painting.
It's in Unfortunately, that's not quite. You can paint flames down the side of the wagon if you want. You can definitely do that.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to do an artisan check to go faster stripes on the cart, please.
The donkey. Do it on the donkey.
And donkey.
On the donkey.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make your.
This is very high on the animal abuse.
I will.
Yeah, go ahead and make your artisan check here.
Because I am feeding the donkey at the moment, so it's currently distracted.
Okay.
And can I do artisan with insight, please, which is what you use to create something truly inspiring?
Yes, absolutely.
These are the most inspiring racing stripes
100% agree.
On a donkey. Right, so
the stripes best be red. We're gonna find out.
3d6.
Dragon.
Plus what now?
So 3d6 plus, because you have a focus in this. So so 3d6 plus your aspect, which would be insight, plus 2. Oh, and then you're being assisted. Well, no, you're not gonna. What am I doing? No, you're not. Forget the assist. Lump has nothing to do with this. Yes, just 3d6 plus your aspect plus 2.
I'm keeping the donkey still. I'm sharing my fruit with it.
That's not the. It's the other stuff. Okay.
A 13.
Okay, a 13, 7, 11. Is that all really? 5, 7 plus 2 plus 4. Oh yeah, 7. Yeah, I'm can't count obviously. Yes. So you were able to paint these stripes, and you move them down. Now they are flames or they're stripes. Very important that we know the difference here. Are they flames or?
They go faster stripes, but they inspire the feeling
Right.
of flames.
Of flames. So you paint them from the front of the dragon's chest, who kind of mournfully, as this is happening, down the side of the donkey, down the wagon, so that now you have a very fast-looking cart with 3 functional wheels.
Everyone knows you only need 3 wheels on a cart. So, Reliance Robin.
Maybe we could like tie Morris to the donkey. You're also quiet today when I say things.
No, I think that's a good idea. But I
Thank
did just go
you.
through all that effort to paint the cart, and now we're going to leave it behind.
Yes.
All right. It's a good thing we got to go faster donkey then.
Yes.
I
You
think
looked so happy when you were doing it.
I was very happy. Thank you for
See?
noticing.
Yes.
Right. I second this. Bung the old Morris on the old Dave.
Okay.
Dave? Who's Dave?
Dave the donkey.
Dave Donkey.
Dave the donkey.
Yeah.
Donkey Dave.
Reginald walks back up after having finished laying the spirits to rest. And he just looks at the donkey. He's just like, I can't condone this.
What exactly?
Painting donkeys.
Love just looks around. He just sort of motions to the carnage around. He's like, take pick.
But
We cannot tell other druids about this.
Oh, it's all right. He loves it. He's never felt faster or younger or cooler in his life. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah.
See? He's got a new lease of life on him.
Love finishes his fruit and stands up. How far take body?
well, up to the donkey.
No, after donkey. How far to
I think we still got 3 days walk, mate.
2 now, but
Well then,
all right.
we should get some nice sleep and get going, right? Let's sleep
Why sleep?
because
Take
night.
body 2 days.
I need to fix my stuff. I point to my armor.
We were disturbed in the middle of our long rest. I imagine we should probably finish it. It is the middle of the night.
Lum just sort of flops back down on his rear end.
We know they're not following us for now.
You put them to rest, so they're not following.
They're sleeping. We should too.
Yeah.
okay. So you were.
But maybe we shouldn't tie Morris to the donkey for the whole night, though.
Yeah, we should probably do that in the morning.
Yeah.
We'd like to set up the camp for the remainder of the night, please. And then in the morning, tie Morris to Dave.
Okay. So, because
Best
you're
out
in
of context sentence so far.
because you're in the because you were in the midst of this rest, I'm going to say that during this that your lost life points and spell points are going to be recovered because of this, and I will give you the opportunity to do, for those of you who are doing, but yeah, well, and so that, and then I will also give the ability to. Actually, no, you won't be able to. I take this back. I was going to say that you have to refit armor. So here's the deal. If you're going to get your hit points back, then and your life points back, then you need to be sleeping, like actually resting to do that. If you're going to refit armor instead, then that can't also be used at the same time. So you got to decide. So Regina, if you want to work on the armor, I mean, you don't have any healing, points to heal, so I guess it's all right. But like, for example, Lump, I don't know if you wanted to work on refitting your armor, if you want to rest, but you can't do both if you want to get your life
So
back.
I'm going to refit my armor because after an hour, I will regain 1d6 wounds.
Right. Although this is not wounds, though.
No, sorry, 1d6.
1d6 life?
health.
Okay, 1d6
Yeah,
health.
1d6
Okay.
Or 1 wound per hour.
Okay,
basically.
gotcha.
So every
Gotcha,
hour
gotcha,
I roll a dice. So
Okay.
depending on how many hours we rest for, I'll roll that many dice.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right. All right. Is that good? So Regina is going to refit. Lump is going to refit. Weddle, I'm going to guess that you would like to rest, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my life points back, and hopefully I never have to use the armor again, because I'm not doing what happened today a second time.
No longer. Okay.
It was very cool riding in on the night.
On the night.
But I think that's one of those things you only do once in your life.
Yeah. The night cavalry doesn't ride twice.
I had similar issues with the kobolds.
Reginald, what about you? Are you...
I'm going to rest to get my spell points back.
Okay. All right. So as we get to the next day, and there is no one else disturbs you, Reginald is at 17 out of 17, 2 out of 6 light fate, back up to how many spell points?
I've got myself at 0 light fate. You don't get those back on a rest, I don't think.
Didn't you get the... Oh, no, you're right. I put you in the wrong spot.
I was very spendy with light fate.
Yeah, no, thank you for the honesty. No, it was someone else that got it back. I think you got one of those back, though, when you were casting them. But then you spent it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so 0 to 6, 17 out of 70 life, 0 to 6 light fate. Regina, you were at 24 out of 24 life, 0 out of 6 light fate.
Yes.
But you will be able to refit, so that basically means all the armor points marked with a slash are now clear, so you just have one X through one box of the armor. And let's see, Weddle is back up to 23 out of 23 life, and also, I think, Weddle, you still have 3 out of 6 light fate, I think? I still have
2,
you at...
because I spent one.
You did use the
and
one,
I
right?
gained one. Yeah.
Right, okay, so then so what are you at? What do you have as your total?
2 out of 6.
You have 2. Okay. All right. And then you have your spell points back. And Lump, you have refitted your armor. So same deal. All of the slashes are cleared, but the X remains.
So because the X was in the bonus armor points and that only lasts until the end of that combat round, is that just all of those armor points are not counted anymore? So I don't have any X's in any physical armor.
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think that's right.
So I now have essentially full armor.
That's right. Now, how many times can you use that anvil thing?
For as many times as I have light fate.
Okay. Because one of the things I'll have to think about is whether or not the armor is kept separately, so that when you first take damage on the...
I think that...
Yeah,
that probably makes sense.
That's probably what it is. Let's keep it as is for now, but that may... Yeah, you know what? I think that's the thing that makes the most sense. So I would say 1 slash still in the armor would be my guess.
In the physical armor,
in the physical armor, one cross. Sorry, in the physical armor. Yeah, okay. But all the slashes are gone.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So one thing to note, Reginald, that when the next day dawns, is since you were the one who was next to Morris and brought him over, is that you notice that as you look down at Morris, there has been a change. And it is that there are now only 2 petals left on the rose. A single petal is lying next to him.
I'll pick up the petal.
Okay.
And just put it in my pack.
Okay.
And then point out to the others, like, pretty sure we're running out of time.
Well, and we need to go fastest.
Travel through the night.
Good thing we got a really fast donkey now.
Yeah.
Surely Dave doesn't still sound like that. Surely he's acclimatized to the situation.
No.
There we go. That's better. Good, Dave.
It's just over there doing Bee Gees impressions.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for housekeeping reasons, I have 1 light fate because I earned 1 and only spent 1 because I rolled a 6 on a Kismet die.
Right, I had that. Yep.
How many hours did we rest for?
It would have been a total of 8. I think it was like 5 before you got interrupted, and then 3 after.
Yeah. So I was only missing 3 life points, so we're just assuming I've healed those, yeah?
Yes, because of the
Because
whole...
even if I roll 8d6.
Yeah, no, it works. Glue the pedal on. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. So, other than that, everything else seems ready to go, and you are apparently prepared to depart and continue on to Fishburg if you wish.
Okay. Strap human to donkey.
Onwards, Dave.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you strap Morris to Dave. Okay. Hee-haw. And off you go.
How fast are we going?
I'm sorry?
Are we just walking? Are we running? Are we...
That's up to you.
So you notice Lump just, when you say let's go, you notice Lump just immediately starts galloping off into the distance. And after about maybe 5 to 10 seconds, looks back and he doesn't know if you guys are running at the same speed.
Do we have any way of knowing roughly how far we've got left to travel?
Roughly, you would think it would be about 2 days travel if you had to guess.
It's tight.
Days or days and nights?
Well, no. Well, I mean,
like two lots of 8 hours, so like 16 hours away, or are we talking like
no,
a proper 40 hours travel?
More like that.
Proper 40 hours travel. Okay,
right.
Yeah.
And so far, you've lost 1 pedal for a 24-hour period of time, basically.
We have 2 left. Reginald runs after Lump.
All right then.
Lump is there is a proper sort of gallop.
I'm not saying I'm keeping up with Lump.
No.
Chweddle starts like pulling on Dave's reins, like, come on, fast, Dave. Let's go.
Hee-haw. And
running as fast as the donkey will let me run.
The donkey, one thing that's important to note is that whether or not the donkey is moving faster, the appearance of the donkey, because of the go fast racing stripes, is just, I mean, it's as sleek as it gets. The perception of speed is really what matters here, and that's the thing. So as the donkey gallops mightily across the landscape, Regina, are you just like flying at top speed, or like what are you doing?
I'm trying to motivate Dave and Chweddle. And if Dave moves slower, I'm gonna push him.
Okay. Yeah. And so you push him faster, and on goes Dave. There is a long winding path that sort of snakes eastward up as you're all running down. And over the course of the next hour or so, it rises up out of the marsh and the winnows up over a series of hills that get increasingly more onerous. There's a certain point where I think probably even the best suited for this, for this kind of travel, maybe Lump's fine, but I'm not sure, Reginald, that you can just be like, I guess you just have the, endurance of the grave or something, so maybe it's fine. But there's probably a point where you folks have to slow down a little bit. And eventually you arrive at a hilltop that comes to an abrupt end at the edge of a small canyon. And here I'm going to take you all to another map. Dun, dun,
Ooh.
dun. And it looks like this.
Witchcraft.
And I've brought over your characters here because that's the kind of guy I am.
Ooh.
You're a short walk away from a long fall into a canyon. The dirt road you're on meanders for about 15 meters until it reaches the edge of a cliff where there's an elaborate wooden bridge. The bridge stretches almost 50 meters to the south until it reaches the opposite side of the canyon. You can hear a rushing river surging far below the bridge. You probably don't want to see it up close. Before you can walk up to the bridge or peer down into the canyon, a lumbering bridge troll stomps his way into the middle of the road, blocking your way as he hefts, appropriately enough, a big piece of timber. "Stop!" the troll shouts. After a pause, he rumbles, "None shall pass." He postures dramatically, holding up his right hand, palm forward in a gesture of defiance and denial. "You see this bridge behind me? It's a masterpiece of engineering. The toll's 15 gold for the group of you. So pay up. If you can't pay the toll, you can't pass the troll."
I try to stop the donkey.
Hee-haw! The donkey has already stopped and in fact was beginning to turn to go back the other direction.
No, no, no. I stopped the donkey.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
Oh there, troll. Gosh, you're a mighty specimen of troll kind. Reminds me kind of a lot of the trolls I seen up on the crags. Mighty trolls, good muscles, big brains. Some of the best trolls I've ever known. Up from the crags. Where you from now, friend?
Back then I was. Actually, he doesn't do echo all the time. Just occasionally he yells into the cavern behind him, into the canyon behind him. So, back in the day I was. And it was a good time back then. But now, I'm a bridge troll, and I maintain this bridge. It's the best kind of bridge you could possibly have. Look at it for yourself. And he kind of points back to this bridge.
That is a fine specimen of a bridge. I've very rarely seen a bridge like it.
I would like you to make an artisan check for me, Weddle, as you're looking at this bridge.
Sure.
And you don't have a focus, but you do have the skill. So 3d6 plus aspect, and this would be insight for sure.
3d6 plus insight, which is a 4. 17.
Wow. Not only a 17, but that's also a great success. And I think you get a light fate, if I'm not mistaken, from that. You learn two things, Weddle, as you're looking at it. First of all, you can see that there are parts of the bridge where clearly the wood is broken. And even worse, it looks deliberate to you. You think this bridge has been sabotaged. It is very far from being a bridge in great shape. And he stands there proudly. That's right, you never seen a bridge like that, have you?
No, I haven't. And do you know what? I particularly love the craftsmanship you've put into some of them boards. I've seen traps like this all the time. You know, you step on it, breaks. Very excellent. I have not seen work like that in a very long time. I can tell that you are a troll of the old blood. You say you were from the crags, is it?
Aye. Back in the day I was. Before I came to this bridge! And he shouts over the bridge and it echoes back and forth. Several birds fly out of the bushes. What the hell's his name? Dave. Just like is really trying to pull against you, Regina, to leave.
And did you tell us what was your name now, the troll?
And he sort of looks at you and he's like, my name. Oh, you want my name? My name. And he kind of like looks around and I don't know. I don't need a name. All I need is to be guarding this bridge. The magnificent stone bridge behind me on Royal Road it is. Look at it. All of those stones and perfect. Now, there's not a single stone on the bridge, Weddle. This is made out of wood. And he's just pointing back at it.
All right. I can tell that you're a troll of magnificence and wonder.
He puffs himself up.
And furthermore, I know, we're from the same place. I don't know, maybe I recognize you. Maybe I knew your sister back in the day. I've known a lot of trolls in my time. The thing is, I have a feeling that, maybe if we attempted to cross that bridge, we might not make it across. Not to say anything terrible about your bridge. I think it's wonderful. But I have a proposition for you. And it's like this, I think you and I, from the crags, the old craggy crags. How about we work something out here to help us get safely over to the other side? And I bet you haven't had a good rousing verse of the Crags National Anthem since you left home. I bet you haven't heard that song in so many years. And I know that it'll touch your heart. So if you need to hear it, I myself, when I've been gone from home, I miss it. So I love to hear it. Trolls and dwarves together, always a banger in the pubs, to be honest. But let's work something out here, as friends.
I'm glad you're from the crags and all. But the truth is, all that matters is making sure that people pay the toll. So, whatever your crag muffin pattern song you want to sing is, that's fine for you. But for me, it's 15 gold, or you can go the long way around. And he stands with his feet widespread and kind of crosses his arms.
15 gold.
Aye.
It's
When we
really
get
a
to
lot.
the other side.
And by the way, it is really a lot. And he says, I mean, it's a lot to cross this bridge. It's the Royal Road, that is. You're lucky you're allowed to walk on stones that good looking.
But it's not
Is
stones.
What?
Is this actually the
It's
Royal
stone.
Road?
Look at it for yourself. It's stone right there. And he points at the wood and says, that's stone.
Reginald points at one of these boulders just over here and goes, "That's stone."
Oh, that's stone too. Well, that's worked stone. And he points again at the wood and says this.
So he could definitely seen where Reginald was pointing, yes?
Yes.
That's made of tree.
He kind of like, what are you talking about, you lot? Aye. And he looks
That
at you,
tree.
Lump. He says, you what with these crazy people? What think that wood is stone? That stone is wood? That's stone right there. Work stone. It's the Royal Road.
Can
Just
I
as a quick
use my...
aside, is this actually the Royal Road?
No.
Like, is there a road known as the Royal
This is
Road?
not that there is. This is not it. It's many miles from here. Also, this is definitely not the Royal Road, and that is not a bridge of stone.
Okay.
Can I use my empathy skill with the focus on detect lies to see if he's lying or genuinely believes that this
Sure.
is a stone bridge?
Sure you could. Go ahead and make a test then, like an empathy test, please.
3d6. And because I got a focus, I get an extra +2, is it?
That would be right. So yes, 3d6 plus aspect plus 2.
What is the aspect? Insight.
Oh, I heard that, Stalio. I'm not blind. That's a stone bridge, that is. Now, you be easy about it. Why don't you just mislead some streamers when they're looking for a bagel cafe? How about that, eh? That's an inside joke for those of you who ever went over to some mate's channel called Arvin Elleron.
That's a 16.
I think he's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was a 16.
He's lost his bridge.
You learn two things from this, Weddle. You are convinced that you don't think he's lying. You think he really, really believes that this bridge that this is made of stone. And you also know that although trolls, from your experience with Lump, perhaps trolls don't always get to the heart of an intellectual issue as fast as someone else might. You know that most trolls are not so astonishingly stupid that they would think that something made of wood is made of stone. Something is wrong here. Because you don't think he's lying.
All right. I'd like to confer with my friends. Lump. Yeah, Zach. I think there's something wrong. I think he genuinely thinks that that's made of stone. Now, I've never met a troll before in my life who could mistake stone for anything else. You know, you're amazing at stones. You know, you're like, that's a stone, that's not a stone, that's a stone. You're so good at that. Seems really weird. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Lump no
Maybe
stone.
he's dead. Like I've heard, no. I've heard stories that like dead people cannot let go. So maybe there was a stone bridge and he is dead and he thinks he's still at the stone bridge because nobody put him to rest.
Reginald would like to
Reginald?
use his spirit sense at that. So
Okay.
a ghoul can always sense the presence of a spirit within 10 meters, even if the spirit is invisible.
The only spirit that you sense nearby is your follower, Boots.
Although I must admit, if 1 square is 1 meter, I am nowhere near within 10 meters of
That's
the
true.
troll
Actually,
right
you
now.
need to walk up a
Yeah.
little bit. And actually, none of you are like yelling at each other from down
No.
there. I would assume
So
I'm just going to move
I
everybody
would
up just
assume
for a
we're
second.
maybe-
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
So as we're conferring, I'll sort of, well, if I say whisper to the group. Bridge warden, trolls that look after bridges.
Only
Forget
spirit round
bridge.
here is Boots.
Forget bridge, lose bridge, hit head, lose way. Happened before.
How
do you
lose a bridge?
Lumber up to the bridge troll.
Okay.
I'm gonna go quite close to him as well.
And he kind of looks at you and like, what do you want?
You guard Royal Road Bridge?
Yeah, you can see it for yourself.
How long do you guard bridge?
Oh, I've been here for years. That's my bridge it is, or at least it's the one I've maintained for a long time. That's what they called it, maintain.
Bridge warden, proud honor. Bridge warden, family business.
He nods.
Sometimes bridge warden, lose bridge, lose way. Sometimes bridge, not their bridge. And
What?
I'm going to go over to the wood. And now this isn't a well-maintained bridge, is it?
This actually, Lump, as you arrive there, you would say, no, I don't think I'll make it. I think I'll have you make, I'm sure you don't have artisan. Can you make an
Fair
insight?
presumptuous of you.
I know, right? Can you make an insight check for me, please?
Yes.
Insight test, I should say.
It's going to be 3. Is it 3d6 plus insight?
So it'll be 3d6 plus insight, yes.
Yes.
It is a skill-free test, and it's only 3d6.
Oh, yeah, not plus the aspect. So just the
okay.
3d6.
So it'll just be the 3d6.
Yeah.
But I do get a life 8.
So
there's
what?
that.
So there's that. What you would say about this actually is you do think that this bridge was at one time well maintained, because you can see that some of the boards and so on look really like carefully like nailed in and sort of shaped and everything. But the spots that have clear gaps in them and where the bridge is kind of leaning a little bit looks fairly new. If you had to guess, you would say someone sabotaged this bridge.
I'm going to try and get to this point in the bridge.
Okay.
And sort of like hold a hand up to the bridge warden, like, no skip toll.
And he
And I'm
nods
gonna
because he's
reach
staring
down.
you down.
Yeah. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to tap on the stone part of the bridge. And go, stone, solid, dusty. And I'm going to reach over. I'm going to tap on the wooden plank I can reach and the different noise that it makes. I'm not tapping I'm not smashing it, but I'm tapping it loud enough so you can hear the audible difference. I'm going to go,
Mm-hmm.
wood, hollow, tree.
And he looks at you. He's like, what are you on about? What do you mean wood, hollow, tree? That's stone and you tapped on more stone. You're just banging your fist right now against that stone, he says as you're tapping the wood.
I'm going to go right up next to him and I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and I'm going to say quite quietly to him, not Royal Road, friend. Troll lost.
And he gives you this, he kind of shrugs off your hand. And he's just like, what are you talking about? That stone, that is. Are you all lost? You daft? Here. And he walks over and he lifts a foot and slams it down on the wood. And you all hear a like echoes, like a wood sound. It doesn't smash the wood, but you hear the sound of wood echoing through the valley. And he's like, you feel that? That's stone right in the foot it is. You heard the smack from here, didn't you?
Now, from a lore point of view,
Yeah.
because I'm a world walker and I've traveled around a bit, do I know where this royal road actually is?
The Royal Road actually extends from the city, so like way farther north, basically, and extends east-west, and it's like nowhere near here. Like this is, you know, let's be clear, Grey Mist to Fishburg is not a major highway, okay? Like they're not going to put a Royal Road there.
Yeah.
It's a functional bridge for sure, but it's definitely not part of the railroad. I mean, it would have been functional if it hadn't been sabotaged.
True.
And
I'll
he's
motion
just
to
like
to the ground and sort of like the dust and the rocks on the ground and go, not Royal Road North.
And he says, right, a Royal Road North, and this is part of it. That's the point. Look, I've been here for years guarding this here stone bridge, and it's part of the Royal Road.
This.
Do you have alcohol?
What? No, I don't drink on the job. It's my job to take care of this road. That's the Royal Road, that is.
Yeah, buddy, I've got really bad news for you. Like,
He kind of stares at you.
no, something. Did somebody, like, maybe come here and put something in your water or something?
Put something in my water? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I had someone come by yesterday and talk about how brilliant, how beautiful this bridge is. People pass by. I do what I've always done. Charge them a reasonable toll to go over this Royal Road, just like the one yesterday. And she said how great the bridge looked, and she's right.
She talked about that a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she cross the bridge?
Sure. Went all the way across, and then, just said, good work, keep up the good work. That made me feel good, I did. She even gave me a tip. And then, and she was gone on her way.
What did she give you as a tip?
Well, and he kind of like, I don't remember, but it was a good tip, though. He looks very confused when you asked him that, Weddle.
Like an advice?
Sorry?
A tip like an advice or a tip like more monies?
And
a tip like more money.
Presumably more money.
No,
or you're asking him? Like
maybe the tip was the bridge is made of stone.
He's just like, I don't know.
More monies or an advice?
It's a good... Why? And he gets a little upset. He's like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You got money or not?
I put my hand back on his shoulder and I say to him, Bridgewarden family always live near bridge. Where family?
Well, I've lived on my own. I made my cabin out of the trees, and I've lived here for years, just making sure I maintain the bridge and make sure I guard it so that the Royal Road will be safe. I've been here for a long time, I have. You can find my cabin right over there. And he kind of points over, and you do indeed see that there is a cabin. It's a little bit of a distance from the road, but that a rough cabin by the side of the ravine.
And what's the cabin made of?
It is made of wood. In fact, it's made of, it literally looks like he just pulled down trees and just put them together. And like, so it's, yeah.
And would you say your cabin is made of stone?
You daft? Why would it be made of stone? It's made of wood. You can see that from here.
Looks like stone to me. Same as the bridge.
And he kind of glares at you. You trying to be funny?
I'm not known for my sense of humor.
Yeah. And he says, look, you're a funny lot, you are. You know what to do. You go the long way round, or 15 gold. That'll get you across. But I got to protect this stone. He glares at you, Reginald. And that's right, stone. And he glares at you, Lump. Bridge.
Lady who gave tip. what she looked like.
Well, she was a she. I mean, she was. Oh,
Lumpsaw goes like small,
uh,
tall.
he kind
Was
of
it
like
a human?
he hovers it. Well, yeah, he says, but again, you can tell that he's like trying to work through something. Yeah, medium length, height,
Old, young,
middle,
strong, weak.
middle, and certainly weak or strong. She was, I don't know, she was just, and again, every time this happens, when you ask him about something like this, when you asked about the cabin, he was just like, well, it's obviously wood, right? No problem. When you ask him about the bridge, he also knows that. But when you ask him about things like what did she look like or what, he gets confused and then a little angry. Like, I don't know. She was just this, I don't know.
Weapon or shiny? And Lump sort of makes like a hand motion like that to indicate magic.
And he kind of like really, well, I remember hands were shiny, I think. Lights. I think.
Shiny lights.
Yeah, shiny lights, yeah.
Lump sort of walks back to the rest of the group. Charmed. Old witches.
You like him that much?
He's good troll. Honorable profession. Bridge wardens. Honorable.
I think we need to help him out. Does anyone know how to get rid of a charm?
I don't know. He seems really happy with his enormous, cool bridge.
Can't leave him here.
But he lived here the whole time.
Reginald, you could make a, I would say, a spell casting test,
Okay.
if you want to see if you know about how to end a spell, if that's what this is. Also,
That
Echo Alpha
sounds
has
good.
gifted a tier 1 sub to Undeveloped Bruce. Happy birthday, by the way, Bruce.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy
Hey.
birthday.
Thank you, and thank you.
Okay. Any particular focus that would help? Or
Uh,
just regular
so
spell
casting, and it's a wits test.
a wits?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about a focus beyond that. No, I think this is just I think it's just, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be 3d6 plus 4 then for wits. 14 with double 2.
Okay. So one thing that you know about spells like this, especially spells where someone is charmed or dominated or in some way kind of ensorcelled, is that if the creature in question has to struggle to think too hard, that sometimes will break the spell, basically by getting to concentrate on something else. So, for example, riddles, things like that are often a way to get a troll thrown off because they're not used to thinking in those terms. And so something that allows them to think too hard on something else, to concentrate on some other thing is...
Okay.
Yeah.
If he's been charmed, we need to get him to think very hard about something other than what charmed him.
Lump
Oh,
just sort of looks empty. He's like, "Ooh."
Hey, Troll,
we-
what's the meaning of life? Have you ever considered what it means to be alive and a part of the world around you?
Oh, yeah. Means to guard that bridge. Meaning
Yeah, I'm
alive.
out of
Troll.
ideas now.
Meaning alive.
Troll.
He's apparently
Troll.
thought about this quite a bit. Well, it seems to be his default.
I have a game.
What
Don't-
game?
Don't think of a dragon. And you win.
And he kind of stares at you, and he's just like, "Don't think of a dragon. What? And he kind of stares at you. He's like, all right, smart one. Here's one. And he walks up to you. He's like, right, I know you think that I'm a troll like him. He points at Lump. So you think I don't have much brains, eh? Well, that's wrong. And here's how I know. And he says, what can't talk but will reply when spoken to? And he yells into the ravine. And he looks at you, feeling, seeming smugly.
I think I know, but Regina looks like she really wants to chime in.
I know that one. I've heard it before.
And
It's the echo.
And he's like, that's what... And he stops like, oh, that's right, actually. All right, listen, smart one.
I
he
have
points,
one. No,
he points at you,
I
Regina.
have
He's like, all right, what is it? What is it?
Look, you want 15 gold from us,
Yeah.
but we're 4 people.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
You have 15 gold among you. That's it. You give me 15 total gold. Ha. You didn't think I knew that, did you? I'm used to that. I've always got to figure out making change and telling people what things break down.
Yeah, but we are 4 people and a donkey and a corpse. So how?
And he says, well, the donkey and the corpse can cross by themselves, or at least they can cross for free. But the 4 of you, it's 15 gold total. You should feel good about that. That's not that much. Not when you're crossing a stone bridge like this. And he says, all right, how about this? And he looks very smug and he says, you answer my riddles. If you answer 4, and you'll count the one that you used, because that's how I am, 3 more riddles, you can cross the bridge for free. Or if you could ask me a riddle I can't solve, although ain't gonna happen because I do riddles all the time.
Lump, no riddle. Lump taught riddle from other bridge troll.
And he
You
sort
want
of,
riddle?
yeah, I asked you one, you asked me one. And he waits, puts his tree next to him.
You see Lump sort of stand up straight a little bit, and there's a very focused look of concentration as he's like, And he starts making marks on the ground with his finger. 40 white horses on Red Hill. They champ, they stamp, then stand still. What are they?
And he kind of like, 40, that's like a puzzle crossword clue. Oh, and he's like muttering to himself. And then he, oi, your teeth. Ha ha ha! You didn't think I'd get that one, did you? Ha ha ha! That's a new one on me, is it? Not on your life. Ha ha ha! And then he says, "All right, smart one. The more there is, the less you see." And he looks right at you, Lump. That's right. The more there is, the less you see. And he chuckles at all of you. No, I asked the troll first.
No, that one.
And he smiles and he's like, none of you'll get it. I suppose you don't know it either.
Wait.
And he looks,
Fog?
and he kind of looks and waits. Is that your final answer?
No.
And Regina's like waving frantically.
Just looked over at Regina.
He looks at, and the troll looks at you, Regina.
I agree with the troll.
I was going to say darkness.
Well, you got to decide amongst you. Is it darkness or is it fog? What's it gonna be?
What if it's foggy night?
Well, then you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you? But it's not. It's one or the other.
Lump points at Reginald. Like your answer.
Yeah, I go with darkness.
And so he says, all right, is that your answer?
Mm.
And he goes, well, you're right. All right, fine. You ask me one then. I don't know, one of you. Reginald, how do you know your name? The ghoul.
I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
He thinks for a bit, and he's like, and he sits down literally next to his tree, and he leans back against it. Well, I'm young, I'm short, old, and and he begins to get more agitated as he does so. Dave gets, is that his name? Why do I keep forgetting his name?
Dave the donkey.
Dave the donkey gets also progressively more agitated, like hee-haw, as the troll's like, it's time, he says.
No.
It's not. What is it?
How can time be tall or short?
And he, well, what is it then?
A candle.
What? A cat? And then as he says this thing where he comes up with candle, and then he goes, oh. And he kind of like is just holding his head, and he's like, boy, that's weird. That's what that is. What's wrong? You're looking across the bridge, and he looks back and he goes, oi, what's been happening to my bridge? What? Someone, she did it. That what? Where's the? And he stands up, and the donkey is Dave is practically ready to sprint back in the other direction. Where's the?
Oh.
What happened to my bridge? Hey, did you do this? Are you in league with her? And now he's like really angry, staring, directly at Lump and the rest of you.
Dave would never do such a thing.
What?
Keep hold of
Dave's like, hee-haw, hee-haw.
Troll friend. Troll charmed.
What? Charmed? Oh, charmed. Wait. It was
magic.
And he's like, it was that witch. She did it. She said that I had a beautiful bridge, and I said it was going to cost her to cross it, and she said not for long it wouldn't, and then she waved her hands, and there was some light, and then I don't remember until just now, but my bridge don't look like that. And he points back at it. That's a nice bridge. I keep my bridge care of it. I take care of my bridge, that is. And he kind of just sort of stares back at it and looks at it and goes, I mean, that was my bridge, but, well, now it's not much worth. And he kind of looks at it. I mean, it might hold, it might not, but...
Bridge looks broken by witch.
She comes back here, I'll break her. And he takes his tree and he lifts it and smashes it on the ground. And Dave is just like, and is like practically Regina is like pulling you along with him as he like turns to head away.
I try to keep Dave here.
Barely.
Could you stop scaring Dave? He's done nothing to you.
I'm sorry. It's just
Yes.
my bridge, I've always tended this bridge, and now it's all broken. And what's a troll without a bridge? And he looks at you, Lump. He's like, I don't know. What's your life like without a bridge? That's what my life would be like. Going around with people who have donkeys. And he just sobs
a hand
disconsolate.
over the troll's shoulder in a comforting manner. Help fix bridge. Troll need bridge. Bridge troll need bridge.
He kind of, it would take a while, maybe a half a day to fix it. You do that?
Quick table talk second. What's the town we're going to again? What's the destination we're going to?
You asking me or?
Yeah.
Fishburg.
Fish. I remembered fish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Fishburg.
It's like
Fishburg.
Duckburg, but with
Like
fish.
Duckburg. Now I will not forget it. Thank you. Need reach Fishburg within 2 days. You know quicker way to Fishburg?
And he says, not this way. If you go around, it'll take even longer. And you'd have to deal with the pixies. And you don't want to deal with them. No. The only way is to
they're
get over the
wussies.
bridge. And of course, if you help me, he says, kind of pulling himself up, well, we'll get this bridge right and I'll send you on your way. In fact, I won't even charge you to cross it.
I turn to the group. I could help fix bridge. You go with body. I catch up.
Well, we need to fix the bridge in order to be able to go over the bridge, so nobody can go ahead.
We don't know if the long way round would take longer than waiting for the bridge.
Can't we just put like, I don't know, flat trees on there and walk on them?
Oh, it's not structurally sound, it ain't. And he kind of taps on it. You can see that the bridge kind of sways a bit. She sabotaged it right proper, she did. Ought to be a law.
Well, we got 2 trolls and 2 artisans. So, no, we got 2 trolls, an artisan and a tinkerer. I'm sure between us we can get this job done. You lot, okay. Lump's gonna grab any materials we need. Unnamed bridge troll of great knowledge and wisdom. You know how to bridge. I know how to paint a bridge real good. What color do you want it?
And as he looks at you and you look back at him, you hear, yeah. And that's where we're going to bring our session to a close today. Since we have already run over, and we will begin with the repairing of the bridge. What a super, super fun, entertaining session. Oh my heavens. So much fun. That was a lot of fun for me to watch you folks play through. And I will say that some good work was done there, both in the combat and then in also figuring out how to manage things, including a little impromptu riddle game, pulling from perhaps my favorite book. Although I was trying not to challenge all of it, but he was very proud of his riddle prowess until he fell apart with the candle. That you could not defeat that. And now you also know that the bridge is sabotaged and someone is trying to apparently stop you from following them. So the plot thickens. I will start as per usual on the bottom of the column. I will start with Undeveloped Bruce. This was good stuff today, Bruce. There was a lot of good stuff from Hweddle. I love the idea of the void troll. I think that the fact that it didn't cover you became a little more problematic than perhaps might have been the case otherwise. Plus, I was using a fair bit of Dark Fate in there to kind of ramp that up a bit. But nonetheless, you were able to get through some of it, and you were able to make also some, I think some positive elements. I love the racing stripes on the doggy, and also leading up to the bridge. So there were a lot of memorable moments for Hweddle, although I guess Hweddle would probably prefer not to remember all the moments of being, pierced by swords and things like that. But still, it came through okay. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Yeah, that was loads of fun. Hweddle generally has the philosophy that stuff goes well, it's all good. Stuff goes badly, you get a good story out of it. The worst thing that anything can go is boringly. So he's pretty chuffed with how today went, to be honest. He's like, oh, what a disaster that was. He loves it. So yeah, a great session. So the original plan was that I would be going straight into a 24-hour charity stream for my birthday, which it is now. Thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday.
The birthday wishes. But unfortunately, as I've moved house, I am on ADSL, which is the internet when you don't have fiber. So until that gets sorted, I've only got 0.8 megabytes of upload, which isn't good enough to do a drawing stream. So that's postponed until BT/OpenReach sort out the cabinet situation. But yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll know when that gets put back in the calendar. Yeah, that's me, and I'm Undeveloped Bruce, and you can find me on Twitter at BruceOnlyBruce.
Good stuff. Thank you, Bruce. Good work today, and happy birthday again. And I hope everything goes well with getting the internet functional at some point where you can do that. I know that feel. Moving right up the line, Mike, Lump had some really great moments. I loved the troll, discussion of great honor. And it's a good, you're just talking about it like you're speaking at a cocktail party. Like it's a good, honorable job, like it's good stuff, good, solid salary,
I was one sentence away from being like, my father wanted me to be a bridge troll.
Exactly. It was really cracking me up. But I love that. And of course, also even some of the riddles, that are getting picked up was a lot of fun. And when I was thinking about setting this up this way, I was like, I wonder what the troll versus a troll would think about a troll in this situation. So that was fun to see. Plus, we got a chance to see Hulk Unleashed, basically Hulk Smash. We got to see that in combat, which was always a lot of fun, especially when made even more terrifying by being covered by a shadow. So there was all that. It was good stuff. How did you feel about today's session, Mike, and where will the fine folks see you next?
I absolutely adored it, and I specifically adored the fact that we've now given birth to the Void Troll.
And the Racing Donkey, that too.
Void Troll and Dave the Racing Donkey. Dave the Wonder Donkey, indeed. Yeah, all of those, by the way, have been captured. So we're definitely going to get those in Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Oh, God, no, on the soundboard.
Yeah. Pretty much. I so much fun this session. It was really good. If anybody wants to catch any updates or just anything from myself, you can find me everywhere at Peripheral Mike. At the minute, like I said, work is pretty rammed at the moment, so streaming is on the back burner, but there are things moving in the background to make that easier. Some of the stuff I've discussed with people on this call, but other stuff I'll be sort of talking about more openly on my Twitter when I can, and also when I'm not playing Elden Ring, which is never. So I'll see you guys in 2025 when I've stopped playing Elden Ring.
Well, but not before we've spoken, since Mike may or may not be working on something involving me at the moment as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there's that too. No, but always a pleasure, Mike. Really good stuff. And and I'm glad you're enjoying Lump too, because I can tell that it's a fun little switch up that you're having fun doing. So it is good times. Also good times today was, of course, the work of Reginald, who got a chance to once again show the power of Shatter. And one of the funniest things for me was watching the shatter, and then it'll be like, maybe I could put it back together as you're standing in this sawdust that's like drifting away from if we start now by next century. It was really, really fun. And it was effective, certainly, in stopping the card. That's certainly the case. Also, of course, your lightning bolts were on point. And some of the stuff, the kind of like, that's not stone, that's not wood, that's stone, that's wood, and all this. There's kind of a literalism about Reginald that I appreciate in that context. And yeah, we'll get to see how a ghoul handles things in terms of helping with bridge repairs. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
I mean, as you probably saw when I broke down a little after for like 5 minutes earlier in a couple of places, I've had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah.
I can safely say I didn't have defacing a donkey or troll riddles on my pen and pixels bingo card for this session. So it's definitely been an experience. It's always nice when the spells go more or less without a hitch, or sometimes a little too well in this game. I like the fact that you can sometimes be a little too successful, and that can create a new situation. But I like the idea of like Regina throwing the spear and then a lightning bolt just immediately arcing down into that spear.
Oh.
I'm like, that was a nice 1-2 punch. That was
Yeah.
very satisfying.
It was.
And
It was effective too.
And getting to show you up with a gust of wind again is always nice.
Gust of wind. But that actually, I mean, at that point I was fine because I felt like we'd done enough back and forth. It was okay. It wasn't just like, here's a difficult. Well, never mind. You just crossed that immediately with no problems. Oh man. But it was good stuff. Where will the folks find you next?
Next, we'll be back here tomorrow, my regular Wednesday show. Not sure what I'm playing yet. Probably won't be Fallout New Vegas, because that sort of game I like to have a nice big block of time, because you can't just play that for a couple of hours. You're there for long haul when you have playing like a New Vegas session. And speaking of New Vegas, I'll be doing that on my channel on Thursday. So yeah, you can catch me at the usual places.
Good stuff. Thanks, Saber. I also should mention, by the way, because we didn't mention this before, at the end of a session, the light fate resets. So, and as does my dark fate. So it'll go back to 4, which I was already at anyway. And then everyone will be at their starting fate totals. So I think we're looking at like Reginald, that's going to be what, 2 for you, right?
Yes.
And Regina, that's 2 also for you. Okay, and Weddle, is that 1 or 2 for you? Is it 2? Okay, but Lump, it's 1 for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, lovely. So just want to make sure I remember that before I move on. Okay, last but certainly not least, always a pleasure. Thanks, Saber, also for doing Moobot and Dashboard as always. Last but certainly not least, Pyron, great stuff tonight as well. I love the idea that you were the image of Regina on the back of the donkey, like pulling back to keep Dave from bolting off into the distance, and somehow doing it like just by sheer force of sprite will, was absolutely chef's kiss. It was good stuff. And we got a chance then to see Regina figuring out what on God's green earth is going on with these people and this thing with the bridge and what is this. So that was fun to see everyone's reactions to that. How did you feel about our session today, and where will the fine folks find you next?
I'll just say what I always say, which is that I love these sessions, and that's just the same thing every time. It was wonderful. I wonder what kind of riddle Regina would tell somebody. I'm still like pondering that.
Yeah.
But I think I know. And yeah, and I'm going to be back on Thursday with a game. Maybe continuing Morrowind unarmed. I don't know yet, but I feel like punching something, so that might just happen. So yeah, and I think the riddle would be, in my hand I hold a bee. What is in my eye? It's beauty, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, beauty's in the eye.
And
of
I
the
think that's
beholder.
Regina's kind of riddle.
Yeah, and that probably would have taken a second, and probably the troll, just the troll, not the GM, would have probably had to think about that twice, a little more than that.
I think that would be Regina's kind of riddle.
I love it. Yeah, I love the fact that every time Lump was like, and you're just like frantically in the back, like a little kid in a class, like me. It was great. It was good stuff from all the players. Chat, can we get some love for our amazing players who got a chance to play, by the way? Again, this beautiful art. This is the Briar Rose adventure that we're playing from the amazing Pegasus Spiele, which has sponsored us and which has sent all the players, including soon Undeveloped Bruce, one of these guides. So you should definitely check it out. But chat, can we get some love for our amazing players? Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce. We will see all of you folks next month for various gaming shenanigans. Happy birthday again, Bruce, and bye for now, all. And that, folks, is going to do it for us for this evening. That was a lot of fun. I really was not expecting. I mean, I knew that they were going to be dealing with some of these things. I just didn't know that they were going to be dealing with them precisely the way that they did deal with them. And that was great, right? I mean, that was exactly what you want, even though it was not what I expected. I realized that I stopped the music because of Bruce's singing, because I was like, we need to focus on that, not whatever the music is. And then I didn't necessarily turn it back on with everything else. So that was interesting. And I did, you know what? I did forget to mention that. That's true. I saw it, and then they were in the midst of a role play, and I didn't want to jump in the middle of it. Sorry, Echo. Yes, I will mention that right now, actually, which is Echo also gave you a sub to my channel. Okay, so I just let Bruce know. Thank you, Echo, for doing that. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, folks. And as you can see, it has grown dark in my office. I'm in that weird intermediate time now where by the time we get to 7:30, it's basically it's still it's past dusk. Like there's a little bit of light I can see from my office over here, but so that's why I don't have my whole lighting set up, because usually I have my lighting set up if I know it's going to be nighttime, or I don't have any because it's during the day. So I was somewhere in the middle, and so I have my just one light panel on, so you can actually see my face while I speak. But that will change as we move along, and that is going to be it for me for the month of March, both on this channel and on my own channel. I will be back on my own channel on Friday, probably with some Gran Turismo 7. I have finished Golden Sun, so I'm going to head back into Gran Turismo 7 at this point. Over the weekend may also be some more Gran Turismo 7. I don't know. I have to put forward my schedule. Very busy over the next few days trying to get a short story done and doing a little bit of grading as well. But that's going to be happening there, and I will be back on this channel Tuesday of next week, starting with some more Pen and Pixels and beginning Dragon's Dogma, which I'm going to be doing on my channel, which should be a good... I'm sorry, on this channel, not on my channel. I'm going to be doing on this channel, on this show, starting next week. So that is going to be a good time. Otherwise, you can expect more D&D with GOG Ghosts of Saltmarsh and more Talisman adventures next month. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you will follow us here on GOG.com. I hope you will subscribe to us here on GOG.com, and I hope you will consider clicking through and following and subscribing to us on our individual channels as well, because we are all a bunch of individual streamers that make up this group of we happy few who make up this group of GOG streamers who stream for various peoples, like all of you lovely folks. And I hope you will, in the process of doing that, also consider supporting Pegasus Spiele, because really, like, this is gorgeous stuff, and this here is a gorgeous game. Really cool, really neat game. It's kind of got a different rhythm to it than D&D does, but I like the different rhythm. It's a nice change up, and I think it's worth your while to consider and check it out. And there's more material coming all the time, so they sponsor us, and we are happy to have their sponsorship. You should check out that game if you liked it. That's going to be it for me. We will have folks tomorrow back here with... let's see, who's back here tomorrow? That's going to be, yes, Dark Saber 2K. Oh, is the next person who's going to be up. I knew it was Saber was doing it tomorrow. I didn't know it was like that. So he'll be back here tomorrow in about 20 hours or so. So you'll definitely want to stop by for that. Otherwise, I'll be back on my own channel, as I say, Friday night, somewhere between 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern, as we continue on with some Gran Turismo 7 on my channel. That's it for me. Thanks, everybody, for being a part of this. Thank you, most of all, to my wonderful players, to Pyron Jade, to Dark Saber 2K, to Peripheral Mike, and to Undeveloped Bruce, for being great players. And for all of you lovely folks, thanks for being here and watching. I'll catch you folks soon. Episode 320 of Pen and Pixels, and the next session of Talisman Adventures, The Briar Rose complete. That's it for now. Everyone be good to each other. Bye for now.